डालते हैं तो मेरी 14 दिन में कोई आवाज नहीं दबा सकता। अगर उन्होंने 14 साल भी डाला तो भी मैं भगवान का नाम लेना बंद नहीं करूंगा।
What is being claimed by the Hindu petitioners is that this particular structure of the mosque is entirely a temple. However, the Muslim petitioners have made it very clear that it's a 17th century building, which is why a recent videographic survey hurt their sentiment.
जो लोग वहाँ के सर्वे को रोक रहे हैं तो प्रश्न उठेगा, क्या छुपाना चाहते हैं, किस चीज के से घबरा रहे हैं कि ये बाहर आ जाए।
भारत में कानून का राज है। अगर आप गलत तरीका अपनाते हैं तो उसके काट भी है। जिस हिसाब से उन्होंने
Welcome back. Now, the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has slammed the Russian President Vladimir Putin of being responsible for heinous war crimes in Ukraine. Trudeau made the remarks during his surprise visit to Kyiv.
On this anniversary of Victory Day in Europe, standing strong against Putin's illegal war and in defense of democracy, human rights, and international law is as important as it ever has been. We will continue together to impose severe sanctions, eliminate the dependency on Russian energy, and fight disinformation. It is clear that Vladimir Putin is responsible for heinous war crimes. There must be accountability. Canada will support Ukraine as you seek justice for your people who Russia is killing and brutalizing. Since Russia's full-scale invasion 73 days ago, Canada and Canadians continue to stand by your side.
And still to come on Republic TV, MS Dhoni led Chennai defeat Delhi by a whopping 91 runs in the IPL. And PV Sindhu leads India to a 4-1 victory over Canada in the Uber Cup in Bangkok.
It was a dark night with a bright idea.
Guys, we need something big.
Let's do what we always do. Something really bold. Let's take on the D segment.
Let's create the big daddy of all SUVs, because nothing else will do.
The big daddy of SUVs from Mahindra, coming soon.
उन्होंने खुली चेतावनी दी है खासदार नवनीत राणा ने कि उद्धव ठाकरे जनता के बीच आगे खड़ा रहना चाहिए। उनको उनके सामने खड़े रहेंगे और उनको जवाब देंगे।
मेरे पे अन्याय हुआ, लॉकअप से लेकर जेल के प्रशासन से लेकर सभी जगहों पे, उसका मैं आप लोगों को डिटेल में बात करूंगी। श्री राम का नाम लेने में और हनुमान भगवान का नाम लेने में अगर कोई 14 दिन डालते हैं तो मेरी 14 दिन में कोई आवाज नहीं दबा सकता। अगर उन्होंने 14 साल भी डाला तो भी मैं भगवान का नाम लेना बंद नहीं करूंगा।
What is being claimed by the Hindu petitioners is that this particular structure of the mosque is entirely a temple. However, the Muslim petitioners have made it very clear that it's a 17th century building, which is why a recent videographic survey hurt their sentiment.
जो लोग वहाँ के सर्वे को रोक रहे हैं तो प्रश्न उठेगा, क्या छुपाना चाहते हैं, किस चीज के से घबरा रहे हैं कि ये बाहर आ जाए।
भारत में कानून का राज है। अगर आप गलत तरीका अपनाते हैं तो उसके काट भी है। जिस हिसाब से उन्होंने पहले 6 बजे के आसपास उन्होंने ये वारंट निकाला और दूसरा वारंट रात को करीब 10 बजे के करीब निकाला। तो इतना तो था ही, हम लोग इंतजार कर रहे थे। हमारे साथ हमारे ये बच्चे भी साथ में थे, कुछ मीडिया कर्मी भी साथ में थे और वो भी इस इंतजार में थे कि पुलिस कब आती है। लगभग 11 साढ़े 11 बजे न्यूज आई कि बग्गा ने उनके खिलाफ याचिका दायर की है। तब हम लोग निश्चिंत हो गए कि अब पुलिस कम से कम जब तक फैसला नहीं हो जाता तब तक नहीं आएगी। हम लोग रिलैक्स हो गए। 12 बजे के आसपास फैसला आ गया कि बग्गा को 2 दिन की राहत मिली है। अब उस राहत का फायदा किस हिसाब से उठाना है, क्या क्या करना है, ये बग्गा जाने, पार्टी जाने और उनके वकील जाने।
इन्होंने कल फिर ये दर्शा दिया कि इस देश के अंदर कानून का राज चलता है।
Welcome back, and here's a look at all the sporting action, including the IPL and, of course, Sania Mirza's fantastic knock. An all-round display by Chennai, led by Devon Convoy's 87, helped them to seal a 91-run victory over Delhi at the D.Y. Patil Stadium. It was a terrible day for Delhi team as the clinical performance by Chennai swept them away from the match completely. Top knocks by Devon Conway and Ruturaj Gaikwad and a quick cameo by Mahendra Singh Dhoni provided Chennai with a total of 208 at the end of the first innings against Delhi. The duo kept on thrashing the Delhi bowlers and kept the momentum in the favour of their side. Faf du Plessis' unbeaten knock of 73 and Vanindur's 5-wicket haul helped Bangalore beat Hyderabad by 67 runs at the Wankhede Stadium. Chasing a challenging 193, Hyderabad got off to the worst possible start as skipper Kane Williamson was run out by Shahbaz Ahmed. And Indian women's team began its Uber Cup campaign in style with a 4-1 victory over Canada in Bangkok. World number 7, PV Sindhu, started off low, but in the second game, things were more one-sided as Sindhu defeated her counterpart, Lee, to seal the match.
हांगकांग की खिलाड़ी खास तौर पर इस दूसरे गेम में पीवी सिंधु के खिलाफ।
You are with Republic, and coming up next, the survey findings are to be presented before the court today as the political fight over the Gyanvapi mosque continues. Maharashtra government prepares to move court to file a contempt case against the Rana, seeks to cancel Rana's bail.
उन्होंने खुली चेतावनी दी है खासदार नवनीत राणा ने कि उद्धव ठाकरे जनता के बीच आगे खड़ा रहना चाहिए, उनको उनके सामने खड़ी रहेंगे और उनको जवाब देंगे।
तो मेरे पे अन्याय हुआ, लॉकअप से लेकर जेल के प्रशासन से लेकर सभी जगहों पे, उसका मैं आप लोगों को डिटेल में बात करूंगी। श्री राम का नाम लेने में और हनुमान भगवान का नाम लेने में अगर कोई 14 दिन डालते हैं तो मेरी 14 दिन में कोई आवाज नहीं दबा सकता। अगर उन्होंने 14 साल भी डाला तो भी मैं भगवान का नाम लेना बंद नहीं करूंगा।
What is being claimed by the Hindu petitioners is that this particular structure of the mosque is entirely a temple. However, the Muslim petitioners have made it very clear that it's a 17th century building, which is why a recent videographic survey hurt their sentiments.
जो लोग वहाँ के सर्वे को रोक रहे हैं तो प्रश्न उठेगा क्या छुपाना चाहते हैं, किस चीज के से घबरा रहे हैं कि ये बाहर आ जाए।
भारत में कानून का राज है। अगर आप गलत तरीका अपनाते हैं तो उसके काट भी है। जिस हिसाब से उन्होंने एक पहले 6 बजे के आसपास उन्होंने ये वारंट निकाला और दूसरा वारंट रात को करीब 10 बजे के करीब निकाला। तो इतना तो था ही, हम लोग इंतजार कर रहे थे। हमारे साथ हमारे ये बच्चे भी साथ में थे, कुछ मीडिया कर्मी भी साथ में थे और वो भी इस इंतजार में था कि पुलिस कब आती है। लगभग 11 साढ़े 11 बजे न्यूज आई कि बग्गा ने उनके खिलाफ याचिका दायर की है। तब हम लोग निश्चिंत हो गए कि अब पुलिस कम से कम जब तक फैसला नहीं हो जाता तब तक नहीं आएगी। हम लोग रिलैक्स हो गए। 12 बजे के आसपास फैसला आ गया कि बग्गा को 2 दिन की राहत मिली है। अब उस राहत का फायदा किस हिसाब से उठाना है, क्या क्या करना है, ये बग्गा जाने, पार्टी जाने और उनके वकील जाने।
जिन्होंने कल फिर ये दर्शा दिया कि इस देश के अंदर कानून का राज चलता है। अगर अरविंद केजरीवाल सोचते हैं कि सत्ता के बल पे, पुलिस के बल पे भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं को डरा सकते हैं, झुका सकते हैं, तो फिर से मैं उनको कहता हूं, एक नहीं 100 FIR कीजिए। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी, मैं ये सवाल पूछूंगा कि आपने गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी की बेदबी करने वालों को 24 घंटे के अंदर जेल की सलाखों में डालना था। आपने चुनाव के अंदर वादा किया था, लेकिन आप ही के विधायक ने, जो उस समय SIT कमेटी के सदस्य थे और जिन्होंने इस्तीफा दिया था, और आप उनका नाम बार बार लेते थे, जो आपके अमृतसर के विधायक हैं, ने ये कहा कि जिन लोगों ने गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी की बेदबी करने वालों को बचाया, आपने उनको प्रमोशन दे दी।
In a shocking incident, 2 persons were injured after 15 to 20 rounds of firing took place in West Delhi, Subhash Nagar, late at night on Saturday. In fact, these firing took place yesterday in the middle of the night, after which 2 people have been injured.
It's a big crackdown on the Dawood network. Raids currently underway in across 20 locations in Mumbai. It's loudspeaker versus loudspeaker in Karnataka now. Hindu Sena launches protests over loudspeakers for Azan. Navneet and Ravi Rana to head to New Delhi today, set to have high-level meetings in the national capital. Survey findings to be presented before the court today as the political fight over the Gyan Vapi mosque issue gathers steam. Big explosives haul in Punjab. 2 arrested in Tarn after Punjab police recovered 2.5 kilograms of RDX. And a massive row over Himachal Pradesh Khalistani provocation. UAPA invoked over the issue. Pro-Khalistan terror group SFJ leader named as accused. And in live and breaking, we begin by telling you how after Maharashtra, the focus is now on Karnataka, where several Sri Ram Sena members are being detained by the police for threatening to disturb the peace by countering Azan with Hanuman Chalisa and devotional songs. We get you visuals from different locations this morning, as the loudspeaker versus Azan row escalates. The loudspeaker versus Azan row escalates. In Karnataka too, it's loudspeaker versus loudspeaker. Sri Ram Sena activists agitate against loudspeakers voicing azans, with loudspeakers performing Hindu bhajans. And Sri Ram Sena activists played bhajans at Sangameshwara temple in Hassan in Karnataka. And Hindu activists played devotional songs against Azan at Viranjaneya temple in Badami town of Bagalkot. And also Sri Ram Sena activists played bhajans in the morning at 4:55 a.m. against Azan. Several temples in the district played Suprabhata. So the Azan Rao escalates. Now moving on to Karnataka. Many places in Karnataka, many towns and cities in fact playing bhajan this morning. Sage Raj, our reporter, to tell us more about how the situation is panning out there in Karnataka.
Sri Ram Sena activists had planned for a protest against Azan by playing Suprabhata bhajans and Hanuman Chalisa in almost all the temples across the state. But their plan was not successful in the city of Bengaluru, where the police had arrested Sri Ram Sena activists in Bengaluru and they didn't allow their plan to execute it. But apart from Bengaluru, other districts, take it from Hubballi, Bagalkot, Gadag, Dharwad, Mysore, every district you get to see the activists who were quite active and got up early in the morning, visited the temple and started to play bhajan, kirtan, devotional songs, Hanuman Chalis, Suprabhata as early as 4:30 a.m. And what we get to learn is that all these activists wanted to play all this bhajan at the same sound like you get to hear Azan. And they started earlier than the allotted time by the police. And if you notice, 4:30 early in the morning. And what we also get to learn is post 5 o'clock, there was supposed to be Azan in all the mosques. And even the Azan was called according to the time, and there was no any kind of violence which was being reported apart from these kind of protests from Sri Ram Sena activists across the state.
the government too cracking down Sri Ram Sena activists. But Sagar Raj, how do you see this moving on? Are there any leaders involved as such? Have any leaders mentioned something of the Sri Ram Sena, for example? Have they mentioned anything about beginning this here as a movement? What are their demands in particular?
So the demand is quite clear, something similar to what has happened in Mumbai. There was a deadline which was been set by Sri Ram Sena chief Pramod Mutalik, stating that they will wait till 1st of May. If the BJP government in Karnataka doesn't adhere to their demand, definitely they will go against this. What we also get to learn is DGP had sent out a notification to all the police stations last month where they had asked go ahead and take action against all those religious centers and temples wherever there are loudspeaker and which is not adhering to the Supreme Court's verdict and not following the decibel which has been asked them to install in their religious centers. And subsequently, there were a few temples and mosques which have adhered to the rules, but in large number, still they follow the same old rules. And Pramod Mutalik, who had warned the state government, said that they will start the protest from today, that is from 9th of May across the state against Karnataka government, and they had alleged that government has not taken any action against these mosques and religious places. And their only demand is the loudspeaker should be removed and they should follow the verdict of the court and they should adhere to the instructions given by the court. Unless they will not stop this, they will continue
So Sagar Raj, Pramod Mutalik of the SRS, right. Pramod Mutalik of the SRS of the Sri Ram Sena leading the campaign against loudspeakers that voice azan. And the agitation begins today, the 9th of May. Many thanks, Sagar Raj, for joining us.
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನರಿಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ನೀವೇ ಶಾಂತ ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಮೂಲಕ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವೇ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಳಿಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಘೋಷಣೆಯ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಕಳೆದ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಮೈಕಿನಿಂದ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತ ಶಬ್ದದ ಕಿರಿಕಿರಿಯ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಎಚ್ಚರಿಕೆ
And in top national stories, Union Home Minister Amit Shah has arrived in Guwahati for a two-day tour to inaugurate and launch several projects on the first anniversary of Himanta Biswa Sharma-led government. The Home Minister will inaugurate a national forensic university here. Swayaldev Bharatiya Samaj Party chief Om Prakash Rajbhar has made a big claim. He says an anti-BJP front will be formed for 2024 Lok Sabha polls.
बंधन बनने जा रहा है। देख ही रहे हैं कि बंगाल में ममता जी एंटी है ये हैं, हम हनु एनटीए वाली गोल में हैं, उधर बिहार में लालू जी एनटीए वाली गोल में हैं, केजरीवाल एनटीए वाली गोल है, राजस्थान कांग्रेस एनटीए वाली गोल है, छत्तीसगढ़ एनटीए वाली गोल है, उद्धव ठाकरे शरद पवार महाराष्ट्र में सब एनटीए वाली गोल है। तो ये एनटी वाली गोलियाँ कहाँ जाई, एनटीए में न रही। ये तो
And Delhi police have arrested a man in connection with the Subhash Nagar firing incident in the national capital. According to police officials, a 47-year-old man has been arrested. He allegedly gave a scooty to his accomplices for the crime. Big development in the Karnal terror plot investigation. According to officials, the four arrested accused used to smuggle drugs and arms. Park handler Harvinder Singh Rinda used to supply them explosives and drugs via drones. And here on Republic TV, it's time for a short break. We'll be right back with more on the other side. Coming up, stay tuned. The Ranas are heading to New Delhi to meet the Union Home Minister and the Speaker Om Birla. A number of top-level meetings expected to happen. And survey findings to be presented before the court today as the political fight over the Gyanvapi Mosque continues.
It was a dark night with a bright idea.
Guys, we need something big.
Let's do what we always do. Something really bold. Let's take on the D segment.
Let's create the big daddy of all SUVs because nothing else will do.
The big daddy of SUVs from Mahindra, coming soon.
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
What is being claimed by the Hindu petitioners is that this particular structure of the mosque is entirely a temple. However, the Muslim petitioners have made it very clear that it's a 17th century building, which is why a recent videographic survey hurt their sentiments.
जो लोग वहाँ के सर्वे को रोक रहे हैं तो प्रश्न उठेगा क्या छुपाना चाहते हैं, किस चीज के से घबरा रहे हैं कि ये बाहर आ जाए।
भारत में कानून का राज है। अगर आप गलत तरीका अपनाते हैं तो उसके काट भी है। जिस हिसाब से उन्होंने एक पहले 6 बजे के आसपास उन्होंने ये वारंट निकाला और दूसरा वारंट रात को करीब 10 बजे के करीब निकाला। तो इतना तो था ही, हम लोग इंतजार कर रहे थे। हमारे साथ हमारे ये बच्चे भी साथ में थे, कुछ मीडिया कर्मी भी साथ में थे और वो भी इस इंतजार में थे कि पुलिस कब आती है। लगभग 11 साढ़े 11 बजे न्यूज आई कि बग्गा ने उनके खिलाफ याचिका दायर की है। तब हम लोग निश्चिंत हो गए कि अब पुलिस कम से कम जब तक फैसला नहीं हो जाता तब तक नहीं आएगी। हम लोग रिलैक्स हो गए। 12 बजे के आसपास फैसला आ गया कि बग्गा को 2 दिन की राहत मिली है। अब उस राहत का फायदा किस हिसाब से उठाना है, क्या क्या करना है, ये बग्गा जाने, पार्टी जाने और उनके वकील जाने।
जिन्होंने कल फिर ये दर्शा दिया कि इस देश के अंदर कानून का राज चलता है। अगर अरविंद केजरीवाल सोचते हैं कि सत्ता के बल पे, पुलिस के बल पे भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं को डरा सकते हैं, झुका सकते हैं, तो फिर से मैं उनको कहता, एक नहीं 100 FIR कीजिए। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी, मैं ये सवाल पूछूंगा कि आपने गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी की बेदबी करने वालों को 24 घंटे के अंदर जेल की सलाखों में डालना था, आपने चुनाव के अंदर वादा किया था, लेकिन आप ही के विधायक ने, जो उस समय SIT कमेटी के सदस्य थे और जिन्होंने इस्तीफा दिया था, और आप उनका नाम बार बार लेते थे, जो आपके अमृतसर के विधायक हैं, ने ये कहा कि जिन लोगों ने गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी की बेदबी करने वालों को बचाया, आपने उनको प्रमोशन दे दी।
In a shocking incident, 2 persons were injured after 15 to 20 rounds of firing took place in West Delhi, Subhash Nagar, late at night on Saturday. In fact, these firing took place yesterday in the middle of the night, after which 2 people have been injured. They have been rushed to the spot, and after the incident took place, several policemen, several police officials were deployed in the area, and there is a heavy deployment in the shooting site, and several barricades have also been placed, and the inquiry has also been placed by the officials. According to the preliminary information that we are getting from the officials, the investigation has been put in place as
And breaking news now coming in. Top sources have confirmed to Republic on a massive crackdown on Dawood Ibrahim's network. Raids are currently underway across 20 locations in India's financial capital, Mumbai. The raids are linked to an entire criminal syndicate involving drug smugglers, real estate managers and hawala operators linked to the D gang. We can also confirm that this is among the biggest crackdowns undertaken by agencies. Joining us now is Abhishek from the newsroom. Abhishek, when we talk about Dawood and his family, it's begun on a troubled note ever since all the numerous crackdowns since February on his sister, on his brother and so on by the ED, then the NIA. Tell us about this particular raid. 20 locations in Mumbai are being raided as we speak. What are the updates we have?
Well, yes, Rukma. So the bare bones facts first. These raids started about 6 a.m. in the morning, and they are being carried out at about 20 locations across Mumbai in 16 police station areas. These raids are being carried out by the National Investigation Agency, which is the nodal agency for anti-terror investigations in the country, and this is in connection with an FIR registered in January of this year, which is numbered 0120002022, and this was registered in Mumbai office of the Mumbai branch of the NIA. In fact, under sections 17, 18, 20, 21, 38 and 40 of the UAPA, which is India's anti-terror law, as also of course 120B, which is conspiracy under IPC. Now these raids are being carried out essentially against associates or at locations where associates of Dawood Ibrahim, his D company, function and operate out of. So these could be offices, homes, shops, establishments, and these people are essentially hawala operators, real estate managers, drug smugglers, and all those who facilitate operations of Dawood Ibrahim bypassing legal channels. So this is a huge operation being carried out by the NIA. We are told upwards of 200 sleuths of the agency are part of the operation being carried out. In a while from now, perhaps we'll get more details. But Dawood Ibrahim, remember, is a designated terrorist by India under UAPA. Apart from that, he's a global terrorist designated as such by the UN Sanctions Committee 1267, as also in United States as well. In fact, now Dawood Ibrahim's role in facilitating terror activities of organizations, again banned organizations like the Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed and even Al-Qaeda is well chronicled. There is a bounty on his head by the United States as well, and there are so many numerous cases against him in India, beginning with, of course, the Mumbai bombings of 1993. So I think the agencies are really closing in, and this is a huge operation going on as we speak, Rukma, and the details as we shared there. We know for a fact that Dawood Ibrahim Kaskar and his associates and their
right. Abhishek, at this point, I'm also getting our reporter Ankit, who is on the spot, who is at the spot where some of these raids are taking place. Let's go across there and find out what's happening at the scene. Ankit, when we talk about the NIA, we believe this is one of their biggest operations against Dawood Ibrahim and his associates. But as far as action, real action is concerned, real results are concerned, how far could this do? What are the sleuths saying?
Well, from what we are hearing, this size of the operation is clear because of the fact that it's being conducted at 20 locations plus, perhaps across the length and breadth of Mumbai. It's being done in North Mumbai, in Goregaon, and Malad and Borivali. It's also being done in South Bombay, at where we are. We are in Nagpada currently, and the building behind me is very relevant to the D-Gang's operations because this is where Hasina Parker, his late sister, used to live. She passed away in 2014, but there was a 3-bedroom flat here that until 2019 had been registered in her name. However, they were unable to prove when the agency investigated, it was unable to be proven that she had paid for it by any legal means, and hence it was sold in 2019. However, the person who purchased it, a private buyer, surrendered it, and since then once again this flat has been locked, and it is believed that around this area is where there is a Hawala network and possibly also a drug operator network, and that is where some of these raids are being carried out. Now, we are yet to reach the precise location of some of the raids that are taking place in this area, but from what we are given to understand, there are operators all over, and so in one of these rather narrow lanes of Nagpada and Mumbai is where some of these raids are taking place in this particular location. Apart from this, Rukma, I can also tell you that, like we were saying, Goregaon, Borivali, also in Santa Cruz. So you can see in the suburbs as well, in Mumbra, that is a totally different part from Santa Cruz, and in Bhendi Bazaar, which is very close to where we are, is where these raids are taking place. It's more than a dozen locations, and there are a number of Hawala operators and operatives and associates of the Dawood Ibrahim-led D-Gang, which is still into a number of nefarious activities in India. Even while he resides at Clifton Heights in Karachi, there are a number of operators here that continue to work under his umbrella and in a number of illegal spheres as well. And so that is what we can tell you at the moment. This is Hasina Parker's residence. It was, of course, owned by his sister, Dawood Ibrahim's sister, until she passed away in 2014, and then it was sold in 2019. But once again, this particular property is also in limbo, and it is believed that this is the area around which this network of Dawood Ibrahim operates. This FIR was registered in February. It was also around the same time that the Enforcement Directorate was here as well. We were covering it when the ED had raided along the same lines this Hawala network, and now it is the NIA that has got involved, and so that is why you can see that there is a seriousness here. Also, of course, when the NIA gets involved, that you know that there is a terror angle also associated, and so we are aware, of course, that Dawood Ibrahim operates in these spheres, in Hawala, in drugs, and also in the real estate industry, and also, of course, in the terror industry. So that is what we can tell you at the moment. We're going to be finding out more information, but for sure, very large operation being carried out by the NIA.
All right, so as Ankit, of course, is pointing out, this is being seen as a huge operation that is being carried out by the NIA. Also joining us right now on the broadcast is Abhishek Kapoor, our senior executive editor. He joins us from the New Delhi newsroom. Abhishek, you know, the scope of this operation is extremely huge. There are raids being conducted all over, and there are several investigative agencies which are involved. Tell us more about what we are seeing.
Well, Nupur, so to begin with, it's a huge operation. As I said, 200 plus sleuths of the NIA there on the ground carrying out these raids across the terror network Dawood Ibrahim in Mumbai. Now, before this operation really panned out, massive surveillance was put in place to zero down on exactly those people who were facilitating the money laundering part of Dawood Ibrahim. That's what we are being told, including channelizing of drugs, taking money out through Hawala route, narco terror, funding of these terror activities. We have seen of late increase in pushing in of arms and ammunition, and the agencies believe that the funding that is generated through drugs is channelized into arms and ammunition, and those cases are in many ways connected. So I think massive intelligence work has gone into these raids, and now these people are being picked up, their establishments being raided. We are told that there would be information about detentions and arrests in a couple of hours from now. So this is just the beginning of the operation as it pans out with Dawood Ibrahim's backbone in terms of facilitating of terror, specifically narco terror, with the operations based out of Mumbai being targeted. It's a major swoop down on his associates across Mumbai. In fact, the FIR based on which this entire exercise is being carried out, Nupur, also mentions the fact that Dawood Ibrahim has been conspiring along with his D company and associates and sleeper cells in India to carry out major terror acts of the kind where even VIPs are targeted, big politicians are targeted, and communal situations are created. So if you look at this development in the light of whatever has happened in across the country over the last month and a half in terms of communal violence, be it Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, even Jahangirpuri of Delhi, and the targeting of the Gorakhpur temple, Gorakhdam. So I think if you connect the dots, there could be a possibility that it was Dawood Ibrahim activating those sleeper cells, activating that conspiracy, and so I think that's why the agencies, based on the surveillance that was put in place, is carrying out, the NIA is carrying out this major swoop down to essentially break the backbone of Dawood Ibrahim's operations in Mumbai and rest of the country. So we have to wait for a while. There would be more developments coming out of these raids that are being carried out, but this is essentially NIA taking on Dawood Ibrahim's network and trying to decapitate it as much as possible through this operation.
Now, just putting two and two together, now these raids, of course, come just a month after the Indian permanent representative T.S. Tirumurthy at the UN had actually spoken about this. And I'm going to quote what he said. It was an international counter-terror conference. Now, he had at that time said that linkages between terrorism and transnational organized crime must be fully looked into. Now, this becomes important, Ankit, for the simple reason that Dawood Ibrahim is believed to be hiding in Pakistan.
In fact, it has been known for many years, Nupur, that he has been living. In fact, we have had a time, we have broken a story where we have been outside the Karachi residence of Dawood Ibrahim as well. That was about a year and a half ago. And Clifton Heights is the name of that residence. We know, of course, that since the time that he fled India after the 1993 blast, of which he is still an accused and he is a terrorist, he has branched out, and the Dawood gang has branched out into different activities, a lot of which remain subterranean at the moment. And it is perhaps this that the NIA is targeting at the moment, and it's not just the NIA. Like we told you in ED, in February rather, the ED had registered an FIR and was also conducting searches at the same location in a money laundering probe. And now you have Hawala and the drug nexus. And like Abhishek is telling us, there is now a close link between drugs and terror. Narco terror is something we see. In fact, even in the borders, when we see Pakistan pushing terrorists, now more often than not, you see drones being used to push drugs along with guns. So
all right, just stay with us, Ankit. Just to tell our viewers, we are now getting visuals of the raids that are being conducted by the NIA at various locations. Ankit, of course, is tracking all those developments. Now, Ankit, explain to our viewers what these visuals are. They appear to be a multi-agency search operation that is being carried out.
Yes, most definitely. So Nupur, so what we can see is that there are NIA sleuths being assisted by police personnel as well. That tells you that there is a large operation that is in progress. We are given to understand that over 200 personnel may be involved in this, and also this is across the length and breadth in Mumbai. So we are currently somewhat in South Bombay, in Nagpada. Raids are also taking place way in the north in Borivali and in Goregaon, also in the suburbs in Santa Cruz, the port area near Mumbai, and also on the other side as well. And so there are a lot of areas over which this raid has been going on, and from what Abhishek Kapoor tells us, an enormous surveillance was carried out and intel inputs were gathered, and because of this, in coordinated action, the NIA is conducting these probes, and these are the visuals that we have accessed. Police personnel can be seen, and these are particularly taking place in Grant Road, which is not very far from where we are also at the moment. Where we are, Nagpada, also there are raids currently going on in some of the bylane areas as well, and this is believed to be a den of where a number of underworld activities also take place even till today.
All right, as you're pointing out, of course, in February of this year, the NIA had registered a case pertaining to the involvement of the top leadership and operatives of the D company, many of whom, of course, are based abroad right now. Now, these raids also in connection with that FIR that has been lodged, I beg your pardon. Ankit?
Yes, it is believed it is in February that the FIR was lodged, and there are raids being carried out by the NIA across Mumbai city in a number of areas, including in Nagpada and also in Santa Cruz. And so this is looking into a number of activities of the D gang, is what we're given to understand.
All right, do stay with us, Ankit. Let's also go across to Abhishek now. Abhishek, what we understand is that in addition, of course, to investigating the alleged terror activities of Dawood Ibrahim and D Company, it's his henchmen, Chota Shakil, Javed Chikna, Tiger Memon, all of those are also being investigated. Now, as you were earlier pointing out, of course, what's worrisome is that there is narco-terror and there is Hawala, and all of that money is perhaps being used to instigate and create trouble in India across the country. Is that something that the Home Ministry is very fearful of?
Well, Nupur, let's understand that this is well chronicled. Dawood Ibrahim, being a terrorist, a globally designated terrorist, coordinating not just terror within India, but globally, facilitating the role of organizations like Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, and even Al-Qaeda. Remember in the 26/11 terror attack in Mumbai, on the ground, surveillance, intelligence, information gathering was done by foot soldiers of Dawood Ibrahim. It's not that those terrorists just walked in and carried out that terror attack. There was proper intelligence shared with them, information shared with them, recce's done, and there was role of local foot soldiers of Dawood Ibrahim. It's well chronicled. In fact, that's the reason why he's a terrorist, designated terrorist in the United States as well, apart from, of course, the United Nations. So I think that's very important aspect of Dawood Ibrahim's role, Nupur, that needs to be focused on, that he's a wanted terrorist globally. Apart from the fact that since 1993 Mumbai bombings, his role in India has been under scanner. Also, remember the kind of protection he gets by the Pakistani deep state in terms of facilitating his activities and making him so big in terms of the linchpin of terror activities in the region, Nupur. So I think with this aspect or this background in mind, the agencies have been in fact working on
I'm going to have to interrupt you there, Abhishek. I'll just come back to you. Now, we have accessed the FIR that was registered in February of this year. Now, in this particular FIR, the NIA has filed a case against Dawood Ibrahim Kaskar, who is a well-known global terrorist by the United Nations under the United Nations Security Resolution 1267 and also listed under the 4th schedule of the UAPA Act. I'm going to go back to Abhishek on this one. Abhishek, about a month ago, if I remember correctly, there was a terrorism conference in the UN, and T.S. Tirumurthy had made specific references to the fact that there was organized terror and crime in India, which was actually being in a sense, aided by Pakistan in terms of housing Dawood Ibrahim. That's where we believe he still is currently. So give us a broader perspective also into how Pakistan is being continuously involved in this.
Well, absolutely. So, Nupur, it's no secret that Dawood Ibrahim is well protected and stays in Karachi under the watchful eyes of Pakistani deep state. What is important is that your question about the Home Ministry and the worry in Indian establishment is there, of course, and that's why the agencies have been connecting the dots. The spurt we have seen in drug discovery, for example, it's both connected with increased push and increased Indian surveillance to make sure that it does not lead to a pandemic of drugs in India. Not just in terms of transit, because remember, India lies on the route that connects the Golden Crescent up north with the Golden Triangle down south in Southeast Asia. But increasingly, with this very diabolical plan, drugs consumption is also seeing a rise, and that's something which is a matter of worry, and that's why this major crackdown happening. So what happens is, in this drug trade, with the kind of huge margins they have, the money then gets laundered through the Hawala networks and into terror activities where arms and ammunition is financed for terrorists in Kashmir, and as we have seen in the latest instance with the busting of a ring in Haryana, that even Khalistani terrorists were using both drugs and arms supplied by the Pakistani deep state, possibly facilitated by the Dawood network, as we had seen in the case of 2611. So I think it's a major operation being carried out in tandem by various agencies. NIA, of course, fronting it, being the key terror agency in terms of having boots on the ground during these raids. But what is important is just wait for a couple of hours. There would be more.
So as you're pointing out, Abhishek, this is a multi-agency operation that is being carried out in various parts of Mumbai, and perhaps we'll see linkages elsewhere as well. Thank you for the moment. You are watching Republic, and still to come, Navneet and Ravi Rana will be heading to New Delhi, set to have high-level meetings in the national capital. And UAPA is invoked over the Himachal Khalistan provocation. A pro-Khalistan terror group, SFJ leader, is named as an accused.
It was a dark night with a bright idea.
Guys, we need something big.
Let's do what we always do. Something really bold. Let's take on the D segment.
Let's create the big daddy of all SUVs, because nothing else will do.
The big daddy of SUVs from Mahindra, coming soon.
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
In a shocking incident, 2 persons were injured after 15 to 20 rounds of firing took place in West Delhi, Subhash Nagar, late at night on Saturday. In fact, these firing took place yesterday in the middle of the night, after which 2 people have been injured. They have been rushed to the spot, and after the incident took place, several police officials were deployed in the area, and there is a heavy deployment in the shooting site, and several barricades have also been placed, and the inquiry has also been placed by the officials. According to the preliminary information that we're getting from the officials, the investigation has been put in place as to who was behind the firing. CCTV cameras are being constantly checked of the entire location, and the injured people are undergoing treatment in the nearby hospital. The entire incident took place on Saturday night. This is Sumi Rajapun for Republic Media Network with video journalist Ranveer, New Delhi.
Refugees have gathered here in Jammu as a part of Smaran Divas to remember those who have attained martyrdom in the Pakistan's brutality when the part of Jammu and Kashmir was illegally occupied by Pakistan, and now these people have come from various parts of the country to remember those who have given the supreme sacrifice. सर मैं आपसे जानना चाहूँगा
जो हमारे वहाँ पर छूट गए विस्थापित लोग, हमारे जो वहाँ पर पूर्वज छूट गए हैं, उन लोगों को हम अपने साथ मिलाना चाहते हैं और हम उनके साथ मिलेंगे। पीओजेके का जो हिस्सा उसको लेने के लिए आज संकल्प लेंगे और अपने जो पूर्वज थे उनको हम आज श्रद्धांजलि देंगे।
श्रद्धांजलि दे रहे सर, आपसे जानना चाहूँगा लगातार मांग उठ रही है पीओजेके वापसी को लेकर, क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
ये बहुत अच्छा कदम है, ये ऐसा होना चाहिए, हम उधर जाएं वो इधर आएं, एक दूसरे का मिलाप होना चाहिए।
वापस आना चाहिए पाकिस्तान अधिकृत जम्मू कश्मीर?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल वापस आना चाहिए पूरे का।
We're reporting outside the Kashi Vishwanath temple over here and the mosque that is all mired into controversy. We'll take you straight to the visuals over here in Varanasi. In the visuals, we are bringing you the live pictures of this particular newly built Kashi Vishwanath corridor, and right next to it is the mosque which is under the scanner of all the controversies. This is the particular mosque where against which you can see there's a brown wall over there. My video journalist is zooming in and showing you the brown wall. The petitioner are questioning that they should be allowed to go inside and worship at the temple of Gauri Shringar. That particular brown wall, that is just one of the...
And here's a recap of the top headlines. It's a big crackdown on the Dawood network. Raids currently underway across 20 locations in Mumbai. Loudspeaker versus loudspeaker in Karnataka now. Sri Ram Sena launches protest over loudspeakers for Azan. Navneet and Ravi Rana are to head to New Delhi today, set to have high-level meetings in the national capital. Survey findings to be presented before the court today as the political fight over the Gyanvapi mosque continues. Big explosives haul in Punjab. 2 people are arrested in Tarn Taran after the Punjab police recovers about 2.5 kgs of RDX. UAPA invoked over the Himachal Pradesh Khalistan Provocation. Pro-Khalistan terror group, the SFJ leader is named as an accused.
It was a dark night with a bright idea.
Guys, we need something big.
Let's do what we always do. Something really bold. Let's take on the D segment.
Let's create the big daddy of all SUVs, because nothing else will do.
The big daddy of SUVs from Mahindra, coming soon.
We're reporting outside the Kashi Vishwanath temple over here and the mosque that is all mired into controversy. We'll take you straight to the visuals over here in Varanasi. In the visuals, we are bringing you the live pictures of this particular newly built Kashi Vishwanath corridor, and right next to it is the mosque which is under the scanner of all the controversies. This is the particular mosque where against which you can see there's a brown wall over there. My video journalist is zooming in and showing you the brown wall. The petitioner are questioning that they should be allowed to go inside and worship at the temple of Gauri Shringar. That particular brown wall, that is just one of the walls of these mosques, is being contended to be the Gauri Shringar temple by the devotees over here. And now in their petition they request that they should be allowed to go freely inside and should be allowed to worship and offer prayers over here. However, the mosque committee is against this entire drill, following which, hearing the petitions, the court had asked for a videographic survey, but the entire endeavor fell flat, as when the court monitored committee of all the officials came here for the videographic survey, they were not allowed to go inside. There was a massive protest here at gate number 4 of Kashi Vishwanath temple over here. Hundreds of people from the Muslim community came forward and they expressed their displeasure, moving the Varanasi district court as well over here. They questioned that a videographic survey is a brazen endeavor and should not be done.
उन्होंने खुली चेतावनी दी है खासदार नवनीत राणा ने कि उद्धव ठाकरे ने जनता के बीच आगे खड़ा रहना चाहिए, उनको उनके सामने खड़ी रहेंगे और उनको जवाब देंगे।
मेरे पे अन्याय हुआ, लॉकअप से लेकर जेल के प्रशासन से लेकर सभी जगहों पे, उसका मैं आप लोगों को डिटेल में बात करूंगी। श्री राम का नाम लेने में और हनुमान भगवान का नाम लेने में अगर कोई 14 दिन डालते हैं तो मेरी 14 दिन में कोई आवाज नहीं दबा सकता। अगर उन्होंने 14 साल भी डाला तो भी मैं भगवान का नाम लेना बंद नहीं करूँगी।
What is being claimed by the Hindu petitioners is that this particular structure of the mosque is entirely a temple. However, the Muslim petitioners have made it very clear that it's a 17th century building, which is why a brazen videographic survey hurt their sentiments.
जो लोग वहाँ के सर्वे को रोक रहे हैं तो प्रश्न उठेगा क्या छुपाना चाहते हैं, किस चीज के से घबरा रहे हैं कि ये बाहर आ जाए।
भारत में कानून का राज है, अगर आप गलत तरीका अपनाते हैं तो उसके काट भी है। जिस हिसाब से उन्होंने पहले 6 बजे के आसपास उन्होंने ये
In fact, Republic TV has accessed an exclusive video of a Pakistani drone that's been shot down by the BSF in Amritsar, after which a recovery of 10 kgs of heroin worth more than 50 crores was made. Let's go across to Amandeep, who's reporting on this from Chandigarh. Amandeep, take us through more details that you are now getting. We understand that this particular drone was shot down and brought down by the BSF. All right, I think we're running into somewhat of trouble with Amandeep over there. We're going to try and fix that audio connection with him in just a bit. But here's what we know so far. This is a drone that was shot down by the BSF, and what we understand is that it was carrying about 10 kgs of heroin, which was worth 50 crore rupees. And apart from that, there were several other things that the drone had. Now, of course, there has been a considerable amount of trouble that the security forces have been facing over these drones that are now being used in sending across arms as well as drugs into Indian territory. Now, this is something that has been brought to the notice of Indian agencies, and this is one of the concerning things that we've seen, not just in Jammu and Kashmir, but also in Punjab, where several of these drones have been sent from across the border. They often land across the IB, and they are the new ways in which we see arms as well as drugs being transported into Indian territory. Now, the BSF, of course, looks very closely at this. Now, pictures on your screen, once again, of one such drone that has been shot down by the BSF. Amandeep has more details on this. Amandeep, give us more details on what happened.
Well, Nupur, this operation was being carried out by the BSF today morning itself at the international border in Amritsar. And in fact, today when BSF spotted a drone from the side of the Pakistan towards the Indian territory crossing the international border, they have opened the fire. And in fact, multiple fires have been opened, and they shot down the drone, and they searched the area and recovered almost 9 packets of heroin. And even now search was underway later on, and in fact, they are trying to identify who all are involved on the side of the Indian territory who has to receive this consignment of the drugs just because it is dropped on the side of the Indian and even the Pak drone was shot down by the BSF.
All right, so big success for the BSF over there being able to identify and then shoot this drone down. Thank you. And here's some news in brief now. Filipinos have begun voting for a new president with the son of an ousted dictator and a champion of reforms and human rights as the top contenders. While Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is leading in pre-election surveys, his closest challenger, Vice President Leni Robredo, has tapped into shock and outrage over the prospect of another Marcos recapturing the top office. The winner of today's election will take office on the 30th of June for a single 6-year term. The White House has announced that US President Joe Biden will deliver remarks on inflation on Tuesday as his administration looks to further address one of the key economic concerns for voters heading into November's midterm elections. Officials say that Biden will detail a plan to fight inflation and lower costs for working families. The Cuban government has thanked Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador for his international political position in defense of the island, especially now that the US seeks to eliminate the Caribbean nation from an upcoming summit of the Americas. López Obrador ended a 4-day tour of Central America and the Caribbean in Cuba. You are watching Republic TV, and there's a lot more coming up next, including the big explosives haul that has been made in Punjab. 2 people have been arrested in connection with the raids in Taran Taran. And it's loudspeaker versus loudspeaker in Karnataka. The Sri Ram Sena launches protests over loudspeakers for Azan.
It was a dark night with a bright idea.
Guys, we need something big.
Let's do what we always do. Something really bold. Let's take on the D segment.
Let's create the big daddy of all SUVs, because nothing else will do.
The big daddy of SUVs from Mahindra, coming soon.
उन्होंने खुली चेतावनी दी है खासदार नवनीत राणा ने कि उद्धव ठाकरे जनता के बीच आके खड़ा रहना चाहिए, उनको उनके सामने खड़े रहेंगे और उनको जवाब देंगे।
मेरे पे अन्याय हुआ, लॉकअप से लेकर जेल के प्रशासन से लेकर सभी जगहों पे, उसका मैं आप लोगों को डिटेल में बात करूंगी। श्री राम का नाम लेने में और हनुमान भगवान का नाम लेने में अगर कोई 14 दिन डालते हैं तो मेरी 14 दिन में कोई आवाज नहीं दबा सकता। अगर उन्होंने 14 साल भी डाला तो भी मैं भगवान का नाम लेना बंद नहीं करूंगी।
What is being claimed by the Hindu petitioners is that this particular structure of the mosque is entirely a temple. However, the Muslim petitioners have made it very clear that it's a 17th century building, which is why a recent videographic survey hurt their sentiment.
जो लोग वहाँ के सर्वे को रोक रहे हैं तो प्रश्न उठेगा क्या छुपाना चाहते हैं, किस चीज के से घबरा रहे हैं कि ये बाहर आ जाए।
भारत में कानून का राज है, अगर आप गलत तरीका अपनाते हैं तो उसकी काट भी है। जिस हिसाब से उन्होंने एक पहले 6 बजे के आसपास उन्होंने ये वारंट निकाला और दूसरा वारंट रात को करीब 10 बजे के करीब निकाला, तो इतना तो था ही। हम लोग इंतजार कर रहे थे, हमारे साथ हमारे ये बच्चे भी साथ में थे, कुछ मीडिया कर्मी भी साथ में थे और वो भी इस इंतजार में थे कि पुलिस कब आती है। लगभग 11 साढ़े 11 बजे न्यूज आई कि बग्गा ने उनके खिलाफ याचिका दायर की है। तब हम लोग निश्चिंत हो गए कि अब पुलिस कम से कम जब तक फैसला नहीं हो जाता तब तक नहीं आएगी। हम लोग रिलैक्स हो गए। 12 बजे के आसपास फैसला आ गया कि बग्गा को 2 दिन की राहत मिली है। अब उस राहत का फायदा किस हिसाब से उठाना है, क्या क्या करना है, ये बग्गा जाने, पार्टी जाने और उनके वकील जाने।
इन्होंने कल फिर ये दर्शा दिया कि इस देश के अंदर कानून का राज चलता है। अगर अरविंद केजरीवाल सोचते हैं कि सत्ता के बल पे, पुलिस के बल पे भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं को डरा सकते हैं, झुका सकते हैं, तो फिर से मैं उनको कहता हूं, एक नहीं 100 FIR कीजिए। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी, मैं ये सवाल पूछूंगा कि आपने गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी की बेदबी करने वालों को 24 घंटे के अंदर जेल की सलाखों में डालना था।
It is a big crackdown on the Dawood network. Raids currently underway across 20 locations in Mumbai. Loudspeaker versus loudspeaker in Karnataka now. The Sri Ram Sena launches protests over loudspeakers for Azan. Navneet and Ravi Rana are to head to New Delhi today, set to have high-level meetings in the national capital. The Maharashtra government prepares to move court to file a contempt of court case against the Ranas, seeks to cancel their bill. Survey findings are to be presented before the court today as the political fight over the Gyanvapi mosque continues. A Pakistani drone is shot down by the BSF in Amritsar. 10 kgs worth of heroin worth about 50 crore rupees is recovered. Now, Muslim Congress leaders N.A. Harris, Nasir Hussain and UT Khadr as well as Nasir Ahmad visited the Chief Minister's residence to appraise him on the Azan versus Hindu Bhajan issue that has now come to the fore. There are, of course, pictures that we are getting from various places across the country which seem to highlight this issue now. Pictures that we are getting from Hubli, Kalburgi, Hassan as well as Bengaluru in Karnataka have, of course, brought to fore this particular issue. Now, after Maharashtra, of course, the focus seems to be on Karnataka, where several Sri Ram Sena members are being detained by the police for threatening to disturb peace. Sagay Raj is reporting on this from Bengaluru. Sagay, we have seen reports that have come in from various parts of Karnataka over how this has become a major issue over there. Now, what is the administration telling you and how are they hoping to counter this?
See, the Karnataka Home Minister has already given a press release where they have mentioned that they will take necessary action against all those organizations which is not following the Supreme Court verdict, and they have also requested people to follow and adhere to the instructions of the police. Now we are outside Karnataka Chief Minister resident Basavaraj Bommai, where you can see now Basavaraj Bommai is going out for his the first schedule, and much before he could leave from this place, the Congress leaders Nasir Hussain, UT Khadr and N.A. Harris and Nasir Ahmad had met him and addressed him on the raising issue of Azan versus Suprabhata, and they have requested Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai to act on this and ensure these kind of incident doesn't occur in future in the state of Karnataka. You can see now Karnataka Chief Minister is moving to his first program which has been scheduled. Much before that he had met he had met Congress leaders in his residence. here in Bengaluru. And as we speak now, you can see there the Congress leaders are addressing the regional media, where they will be appraising the issue of increasing communal tension in the state, because after hijab robe and banning Muslim traders in various temples, now the issue of Azan versus Suprabhata has come to light in the state of Karnataka.
All right. Of course, as Sage is pointing out, of course, action has been taken now. Sage, also give us a sense of action that's been taken against the members of the Sri Ram Sena. We understand that some of them have been placed under arrest currently to prevent the situation going out of hand.
Yes, yes. Yes, in fact, few of them were detained from Vivek Nagar police station and Ashok Nagar police station. It is the same constituency of Mr. N.A. Harris, who just met Karnataka Chief Minister on Azan issue. So what is the issue which have been appraised to Karnataka Chief Minister?
No. See, it is what should not happen. It is what they are trying to do. So we have requested, and CM also says what is unconstitutional will not be allowed to be done. And see, now Azan, there is a Supreme Court order which says the decimal of sound which it can produce and which should not produce in the day and in the night. And everyone are agreeing to follow that. There is no objection, or nobody is telling we will not follow it. So all are ready to follow it, and there is also a new equipment which has been a device which has been identified, which will be fixed in every religious place. This Supreme Court order is not only for masjid, it is for all religious place. And we all have to follow it, that's all it is, there is nothing else. So these people are just trying to take advantage of that and create law and order issue in the state. There is nothing other than that. So it is a Supreme Court order which everybody are willing to, and everyone accepts, and they will follow it.
So do you think the mosques are following the instruction given by Supreme Court of reducing the decibel?
Yeah. All the mosques have agreed, and they will do it. And many of them have already purchased that new one automation system, which by automatically, like governor for the car speed and all. This also reduces and controls the sound. So it's already there, and everyone has agreed. See, this is for all. It is for mosque, temple, church, everybody. All have agreed to follow it. There is no problem. These people are unnecessary taking this issue and making noise.
Assurance from the Karnataka Chief Minister Basuraj Bommai when you requested him to address on this issue?
No, he has agreed that law and order will be maintained. Nobody will be allowed to do anything untoward in all these things. It will be whatever the government has to do, we will do it. It's a Supreme Court order. So government has to follow that. There is nothing else. Unnecessary, it is being hiked up, and unwanted things are being spoken and coming in the media, which is creating more havoc. I think you people also need to control that and only give what is. See, we all have to live together happily. We cannot go on every day with one thing or the other. So I'm sure there is nothing in this. This has been happening for years. Unknowingly,
this is Congress MLA N.A. Harris, who had met Karnataka Chief Minister and appraised the issue, and he also says that CM has assured him that they will take law and order situation in the state of Karnataka.
All right, thank you very much for joining us for the moment, Sage. Let's also listen in to a reaction that we got earlier from Pramod Muthalik.
ಮುಸ್ಲಿಮ ಸಮಾಜವು ಕೂಡ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸೊಕ್ಕು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹಠ ಇಡೀ ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ಕಿರಿಕಿರಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ರೋಗಿಗಳಿಗೆ, ಶಾಲಾ ಕಾಲೇಜುಗಳಿಗೆ, ಸಭ್ಯ ನಾಗರಿಕ
All right, FIR has been lodged with the Delhi police against the son of a Rajasthan minister for allegedly raping a 24-year-old woman belonging to a different religion. Now the FIR was lodged at the Sadar Bazaar police station against the son of a Rajasthan minister. Well, an FIR, of course, has been lodged with the Delhi police against the son of a Rajasthan minister for allegedly raping a 24-year-old woman belonging to a different religion. Let's go across to Piyush, who's reporting live on this from New Delhi. Piyush, give us more details. Now, we understand that the woman has alleged that a man raped her on the pretext of marriage, and this was the son of a minister in the Rajasthan government.
Well, yes, Nupur, a big case has been reported, and that's against the son of Rajasthan's minister, Mahesh Joshi. What we are now picking is that a case of alleged gang rape has been filed by Delhi police, and the investigations have begun. Yesterday, what we are learning is that this case was lodged here at a police station in North Delhi, there in southern area of Delhi. What we are now learning is that the victim had come to Delhi because she thought that she would not get justice in Rajasthan, and that is why she has come to Delhi and lodged a case against the son of the Rajasthan's minister. Police is now saying that they have now spoken to the Rajasthan police, and they have asked for proper details on this entire case. What the victim has also alleged in her complaint is that multiple videos were made, obscene videos were made, and it was threatened to her that if she goes and makes complaint, then those videos would be made public. We'll have to wait and watch how the investigation in this case is going to take place. But we are still waiting for the investigation to begin. Though Delhi police is saying that they have now intimated to the Rajasthan police about the entire case. We'll have to wait and watch how the investigation in this case will further take place. But on this entire case, BJP has now demanded resignation of this minister. In fact, Shahzad Poonawalla of BJP is now saying that will Priyanka Gandhi go and meet with the victims, though she does tour these states where BJP is ruling. Now, will she go and meet with the victim there, who has filed this case, or will she speak against Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot? As of now, there is no official confirmation or statement coming in from Rajasthan police, but yes, a very big case has come to light, and that's against the minister, the son of minister there in Rajasthan government. We are still waiting for an official word coming in from either Chief Minister of Rajasthan Ashok Gehlot or from Rajasthan police. Though we have seen Rajasthan police getting active in other cases, but it will be important to see if the Rajasthan police will actively play its role and take actions in this case and intimate Delhi.
बंद हो गया। महेश जोशी के बच्चे ने जिस प्रकार का दुष्कर्म किया, वो लंबे समय तक दुष्कर्म किया, 1-2 दिन भी नहीं, कई दिनों तक। और यहाँ उस महिला को FIR दर्ज करने में भी भय लग रहा था। इसके कारण से उसने दिल्ली में जाकर 0 FIR दर्ज कराई, और वो जहाँ अपराध हुआ है उस जगह वो ट्रांसफ़र हो गई। अब इसको भी इधर उधर करने का या ठंडे बस्ते में डालने का प्रयास करेंगे तो मेरी मुख्यमंत्री से विनम्र प्रार्थना है, चाहे अपराधी मैं हूँ, मेरा परिवार हो, अपराधी को दंड देना यह आपका धर्म बनता है। अगर आप इसको बचाओगे तो ऐसा लगता है कि आप और आपकी सरकार अपराधियों को, और विशेष करके जो कांग्रेस के बहुत जाने माने लोग हैं, उनको बचाने का अगर प्रयत्न करोगे तो सारे देश में कांग्रेस की छवि को आप इतनी बिगाड़ोगे, जो पहले भी बिगड़ी हुई थी अब और आगे बढ़ जाएगी। मेरी प्रार्थना है कि अपराध जिसने किया, लड़के ने किया, लड़के को दंड दो।
वहीं दूसरा एक महत्वपूर्ण सवाल है, राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष राजस्थान के 2 दिवसीय दौरे पर रहेंगे, काफ़ी महत्वपूर्ण दौरा भी माना जा रहा है, बूथ लेवल पर लोगों को करेंगे, तो कितना एक फायदेमंद है?
को हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जी का कार्यक्रम बहुत पहले से तय था, और विशेष करके वो हनुमानगढ़, गंगानगर जो क्षेत्र सामान्यतः अभी भी हमारी पार्टी की दृष्टि से बहुत सशक्त क्षेत्र हम नहीं मानते हैं, और इस कारण से स्वाभाविक है उस क्षेत्र
माध्यमातून झालेल्या कारवाईची पुरी तक्रार दिल्लीला देणार आहे, आणि त्याचप्रमाणे आज BMCचं पथक मुख्यमंत्र्यांनी आमच्याकडे पाठवलेलं आहे. मी 4 दिवसांपासून त्यांची वाट पाहत होतो, पण माझं मुख्यमंत्र्यांना सांगणं आहे की आपण सुद्धा ऑनलाईनच्या माध्यमातून, माझा एकच फ्लॅट मुंबईला आहे, जे चौकशी करायची आहे तुम्ही पण ऑनलाईनच्या माध्यमातून त्या फ्लॅटची पाहणी करून घ्या. तुम्हाला जर काही अडचण असेल तर अनिल परब आणि संजय राऊत हे तुमचे उजवे आणि डावे दोन्ही लोक खाली बसलेले आहेत, त्यांना सुद्धा फ्लॅटची मोजमाप करायला पाठवा. आम्ही त्यांचं स्वागत करू आणि सगळीकडे 4ही कोपरे बघून घ्या, मोजमाप करा. आज त्यांना आले तर त्यांना आमची विनंती आहे, येऊन पाहून घ्या. आणि त्याचसोबत मला असं वाटते राज्यामध्ये अनेक प्रश्न आहे, शेतकऱ्यांचे प्रश्न आहे, शेतमजुरांचे प्रश्न आहे, मोठ्या प्रमाणात बेरोजगारी राज्यामध्ये वाढलेली आहे, औद्योगिक विकास थांबलेला आहे आणि या राज्यामध्ये ज्या राज्यामध्ये लोड शेडिंगचं प्रमाण मोठ्या प्रमाणात वाढल्यानंतर पाण्याची टंचाई, अनेक समस्या राज्यामध्ये असल्यानंतर जर आमदार रवी राणा आणि खासदार नवनीत राणाला जेलमध्ये टाकण्यासाठी, त्यांना त्रास देण्यासाठी जर या महाराष्ट्राच्या मुख्यमंत्र्यांच्या यंत्रणा काम करत असेल, रवी राणाचा फ्लॅट बघून तो फ्लॅटची चौकशी करणे, मोजमाप करणे, याच्यामध्ये जर राज्याचं भलं होत असेल तर जरूर मुख्यमंत्र्यांनी ऑनलाईनच्या माध्यमातून आमचा फ्लॅट बघून जे कारवाई करायची आहे खुशाल करा. हे बिल्डिंग 15 वर्ष आधी बनलेली आहे. ज्या बिल्डरनी आम्हाला फ्लॅट विकला त्या बिल्डरनी या ठिकाणी बसलेले 10-12 लोक जे आहे परिवार, त्या परिवाराला सुद्धा विकलेला आहे. म्हणून मला त्यांना सांगणं आहे की आपण जरूर ऑनलाईनच्या माध्यमातून मुख्यमंत्र्यांनी आमच्या फ्लॅटची पाहणी करावी, कारण मुख्यमंत्र्याला आता कुठलंही काम महाराष्ट्रामध्ये राहिलं नाही आहे. या महाराष्ट्राचा मुख्यमंत्री महाराष्ट्रामध्ये आहे किंवा नाही आहे अशी परिस्थिती महाराष्ट्रामध्ये निर्माण झालेली आहे. द्वेषाचं राजकारण करून मुख्यमंत्री राज्याचे उपमुख्यमंत्री अजितदादांनी काही बोललेले आहे की आम्ही खार पोलीस स्टेशनमध्ये चहा पिलो, जरूर चहा पिलो. जेव्हा आम्हाला इथून अरेस्ट केलं त्यानंतर त्या ठिकाणी आमचे वकील आणि आम्हाला त्यांनी चहा पाजला आणि तुम्हाला बेल देतो ते अशा प्रकारचं सांगण्यात आलं. जेव्हा 12:30 नंतर त्या ठिकाणी आम्हाला आपल्या शांतापूरच्या लॉकअपमध्ये नेण्यात आलं. कुठल्या मीडियाला सांगितलं नाही, कोणाला इन्फॉर्म केलं नाही आणि आम्हाला सुद्धा सांगितलं शांतापूरच्या पोलीस स्टेशनमध्ये तुम्हाला बसू आणि उद्या सकाळी कोर्टामध्ये घेऊन जाऊ. तर रात्री 12:30 नंतर जो त्रास नवनीत राणांना दिला, जो एक या विधिमंडळाचा आमदार म्हणून मला त्रास दिला आणि त्या ठिकाणी ज्या त्रासामध्ये आम्हाला सकाळी 5 वाजेपर्यंत आणि सतरंजी देण्यात आली नाही, त्या ठिकाणी खासदार नवनीत राणाला लॉकअपमध्ये उभं राहावं लागलं. त्या सगळ्या परिस्थितीची अजितदादांनी माहिती घ्यावी, कारण की राज्यामध्ये मुख्यमंत्री आहे की नाही आहे अशी परिस्थिती आहे. पण अजितदादा या राज्याचे मुख्यमंत्री म्हणून जर कारभार पाहत आहे तर मला असं वाटतं त्यांनी याची सुद्धा माहिती घ्यावी आणि एका महिलेला असं अपमानित, अशा प्रकारची ट्रीटमेंट, अशा प्रकारची वागणूक जर महिला खासदाराला या राज्यामध्ये देत आहे तर अजितदादांनी त्याची सुद्धा माहिती घ्यावी अशी मला वाटतं. कहना चाहूंगा कि आज हम लोग दिल्ली जा रहे जहाँ पे महिलाओं का सम्मान किया जाता है. देश के गृह मंत्री अमित शाह जी जो हमेशा हर राज्य में जो अन्याय होता है उस अन्याय के खिलाफ हमेशा लड़ते हैं, साथ देते हैं और एक महिला खासदार के साथ जो बर्ताव हुआ है, जो राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री ने जिस तरह से एक द्वेषी कार्रवाई जो की है उसके खिलाफ देश के गृह मंत्री अमित शाह जी को भी हम मिलेंगे. देश के पार्लियामेंट के स्पीकर ओम बिरला जी उनको भी मिलेंगे और उसके साथ कई एजेंसी, जो एजेंसी के माध्यम से संजय राउत और अनिल परब और ऐसे कई नेताओं की चौकसी चालू है और उस चौकसी के ऊपर कार्रवाई की टंगती तलवार है, उसके माध्यम से दिल्ली में रह के जो कार्रवाई भ्रष्टाचार और घोटाले के माध्यम से राज्य में चल रही है उस पर कार्रवाई होना चाहिए, वो भी हम मांग करेंगे. और हमारे ऊपर जो कार्रवाई हुई उसकी पूरी जांच दिल्ली से हम कराएंगे और हमको न्याय मिले तक हम दिल्ली में वहाँ पाठपुरावा करेंगे. और मुझे लगता है इस महाराष्ट्र के अंदर राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री हमारा फ्लैट देखने के लिए जो आज महानगर पालिका का पथक भेज रहे हैं उनको मेरी सलाह है कि महानगर पालिका ने ही 15 साल पहले इस बिल्डिंग को मान्यता दी है. उनके ही महापौर थे, उनका ही प्रशासन था और वो आज 15 साल बाद हमारी बिल्डिंग, हमारे यहाँ पे जो एक फ्लैट है मुंबई में, मेरा एक ही फ्लैट है, मेरे 10 घर नहीं है संजय राउत और अनिल परब जैसे और उद्धव ठाकरे जैसे। मेरा एक ही घर है। एक घर के अंदर जो भी तुमको गिनना है वो पूरा पथक का स्वागत है, पूरे चारों कोने गिन लो। और मुझे लगता है अनिल परब और संजय राउत भी खाली बैठे, उनको भी भेजो, वो भी यहाँ आके देख लेंगे। और मुख्यमंत्री भी ऑनलाइन के माध्यम से पूरे 2-2.5 साल से काम कर रहे हैं, उन्होंने भी ऑनलाइन के माध्यम से हमारा फ्लैट देखना चाहिए, वो भी उनसे मैं मांग करूँगा। और जो हमारे साथ 23 तारीख को रात को शांताकुश लॉकअप में 12-12:30 बजे के बाद हुआ है, 5 बजे तक नवनीत राणा को खड़ा रखा, वहाँ शतरंजी दी गई नहीं, पानी दिया नहीं, बाथरूम यूज़ किया नहीं गया और लॉकअप में डाला गया, उसकी पूरी माहिती मैं राज्य के उप मुख्यमंत्री से विनंती करूंगा। पूरी माहिती 23 तारीख को 1 बजे से लेके तो जेल तक पूरी माहिती आप निकालो और वो राज्य का जनता को दो कि हमारा साथ क्रिमिनल से भी खराब हमारे को ट्रीटमेंट दी गई। एक महिला का किस तरह से अपमान, किस तरह से द्वेष का राजकारण राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री ने किया, ये पूरे देश की जनता जानना चाहती है, राज्य की जनता जानना चाहती है। और वो उप मुख्यमंत्री जी ने पूरा खुलासा खुद होके बाहर निकालना चाहिए और यहाँ के सभी जनता को देना चाहिए, ये मेरी मांग है। और आज हम दिल्ली जा रहे हैं, दिल्ली से हम कार्रवाई करके ही लौटेंगे। मैं मराठी नहीं बोलता, पहले मराठी नहीं बोलता। जहाँ पे मुझे लगता है महाराष्ट्र के अंदर ओबीसी समाज का बहुत बड़ा प्रश्न है, ओबीसी पे बहुत बड़ा अन्याय हो रहा है और राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री महाराष्ट्र के कई विषय बाजू में रख के अगर नवनीत राणा, रवि राणा की जमानत कैंसिल होना चाहिए, इसके लिए अगर ताकत लगा के कोर्ट में जा रहे हैं, तो मैं आपको कहता हूँ हमने कोई कोर्ट का अवमान नाही किया आहे, आम्ही कुठल्याही प्रकारचं कोर्टाचं अवमान नाही केलेलं आहे। आम्ही या ठिकाणी कोर्टाच्या नियमाचं पालन केलेलं आहे, संविधानाचा नेहमी आदर करतो। आम्ही कुठल्याही त्या विषयाचा उल्लेख न करता आम्ही प्रत्येक गोष्टीचं उत्तर दिलेलं आहे आणि मेरे को लगता है कि कोर्ट का कोई भी अवमान हमने किया नहीं है। और कोर्ट में जो जा रहे, मुझे लगता है महाराष्ट्र में कई समस्या है, ओबीसी समाज के ऊपर जो अन्याय हो रहा है उसके लिए कोर्ट में जाना चाहिए, ओबीसी समाज को न्याय देना चाहिए। महाराष्ट्र के कई प्रश्न कोर्ट में प्रलंबित है, उसके लिए मुख्यमंत्री ने आगे आना चाहिए। और आज हमारे खिलाफ जो कोर्ट में जाने वाले, हमने कोर्ट का हमेशा सम्मान किया है, आदर किया है और कोर्ट के निर्णय का कहीं उल्लंघन किया नहीं है। और मुझे लगता है संविधान और लोकशाही के माध्यम से जो हमको जवाब देना है वो हमने जवाब दिया है और कोर्ट का कहीं अवमान किया नहीं है।
ऑर्डर में साफ कहा गया था कि आप मीडिया से इस बारे में बात नहीं करेंगे, केस के बारे में।
मैंने केस के बारे में जो घटना हुई है उस घटना का कोई उल्लेख हमने किया नहीं। हमारे खिलाफ जो यंत्रणा काम कर रही है, हमें कहीं ना कहीं रोकने की काम कर रही है, हमारा आवाज़ दबाने की कोशिश कर रही है। सरकार के खिलाफ हमने बात किया है और सरकार के खिलाफ बात करना, मुख्यमंत्री के खिलाफ बात करना, किसानों की और आम जनता के न्याय के लिए बात करना, उसके लिए अगर आवाज़ हमारी दबाते तो हमारी आवाज़ दबाएंगे नहीं। संविधान ने हमें अधिकार दिया है, उसके खिलाफ हम उसके माध्यम से बोलते रहेंगे और महाराष्ट्र के न्याय के लिए बढ़ते रहेंगे।
मुंबई में आपने कहा है कि लीलावती हॉस्पिटल से जो वीडियोस आए हैं नवनीत राणा उस पर वो बात करेंगे।
कई मुझे लगता है कई शिवसेना के लोगों ने कहा है कि नवनीत राणा नाटक कर रही है। जब उनको लगता है कि शांताकुश लॉकअप में नवनीत राणा को रखा जाता है, रवि राणा को रखा जाता है, जेल में डाला जाता है और शिवसेना के नेता बोलते नाटक कर रहे हैं और 3 दिन लगातार जो नवनीत राणा की ट्रीटमेंट हुई है, मुझे लगता है वहाँ का भी प्रशासन, वहाँ के भी जो वहाँ पे जो उनकी ट्रीटमेंट चली है उसके माध्यम से वहाँ तक वो सब जनता में बीच पहुँचा है। और कहीं ना कहीं जो अन्याय हुआ है, जो हमारे खिलाफ मुख्यमंत्री ने षड्यंत्र किया है, एक अहंकारी मुख्यमंत्री ने हमारे ऊपर जो जुल्म किया है, उसके खिलाफ पूरे मीडिया में वो आवाज़ आना चाहिए, वो बात आना चाहिए। अगर उनको लगता है तो शांताकुश लॉकअप के 1 बजे से 5 बजे तक की वीडियो रिलीज़ करो। हमारे साथ जेल में जो बर्ताव हुआ है उसके पूरे वीडियो रिलीज़ करो। ये मैं मुख्यमंत्री से और हमारे उप मुख्यमंत्री से मैं मांग करूँगा।
आराम से बाबा।
अरे यार, अरे लग रहा है लड़कियां हैं यहाँ पे।
यार अरे बूम कुठे
सगळ्यात पहिले आपण आज दिल्लीमध्ये जाणार आहे. काल मी डिस्चार्ज डॉक्टरांना रिक्वेस्ट करून डिस्चार्ज घेतला. अजूनही हेल्थ इश्यूज माझे तसेच आहे आणि त्याची केअर मला सुद्धा करायची आहे आणि त्याच्यासोबत जेही अगेन्स्टमध्ये, कारण की इथे आम्ही जेही म्हटलं त्याच्यावर काही कारवाई कोणी केली नाही आणि त्याचे अगेन्स्टमध्ये, कारण की गुंडेशाही कोणी केली आणि दंगा करण्याचा प्रयत्न जर कोणी केला तर उद्धव ठाकरेचे गुंड्यांनी केले. आमचे घराचे बाहेर मुंबईला सुद्धा आणि अमरावतीला सुद्धा, त्या दोन्ही ठिकाणी ज्या पद्धतीने गुंडे पाठवून जे हल्ला करण्यात आला त्याच्या अगेन्स्ट आम्ही जेव्हा कंप्लेंट केली त्याच्यावर अजूनही काही कारवाई नाही. संजय राऊत जे पोपट आहे, रवीजींची भाषा आहे ते चवन्नी छाप ज्याला आपण म्हणतो, आणि त्यांनी म्हटलं की 20 फूट गड्ड्यामध्ये गाडून देऊ. त्याच्या अगेन्स्टमध्ये जेव्हा आम्ही इथे तक्रार दिली तर त्याच्यावर काही ॲक्शन नाही झाला. त्याच्यासाठी मी मुंबई चालली आहे, दिल्ली चालली आहे आणि त्याच्यासोबत जे जे माझ्यासोबत घडलं आणि कोर्टाचा कोणीही जर म्हणत असताना अपमान आम्ही केला. आमचेसारखे लोक, एक आमदार आणि एक खासदार, कोर्टाचा सन्मान एक भारतीय नागरिक म्हणून नेहमी करत आलो आणि पुढे सुद्धा आम्ही आदेशाचं पालन सुद्धा आम्ही केलं. एकही शब्द आम्ही त्या विषयावर, ते ऑफेन्स बद्दल आम्ही हनुमान चालीसा वाचून आणि मातोश्री या तिन्ही चारही बाजूनी एकही वक्तव्य आम्ही केला नाही आणि त्या सब्जेक्टला धरून आम्ही काहीच बोललो नाही. आमच्या सोबत जेही घडलं, आम्हाला ज्या पद्धतीने पीडा पोहोचवण्याचं काम या सरकारने केलं, उद्धव ठाकरे बेसिकली त्यांनी केलं, त्याच्या अगेन्स्ट मध्ये मी दिल्ली चालली आहे आणि जाऊन जेवढेही प्रमुख नेते आहे जे महिलांना रिस्पेक्ट करतात, सन्मान करतात, असे आमचे देशाचे गृहमंत्री, आमचे प्रधानमंत्री आणि ओम बिर्ला साहेब, ज्यांचे सभागृहाचे आम्ही मेंबर आहोत, त्यांना जाऊन मी भेटणार आणि जेही माझ्यासोबत लॉकअप पासून ते जेलपर्यंत त्यांनी जे व्यवहार एक गेल्यानंतर आपण लोकप्रतिनिधी त्याचेही काही नियम कायदे असतात. मला वाटते की आमचे आदरणीय दादासाहेबनी, ज्यांना आम्ही दादा पूर्ण महाराष्ट्र बोलते आणि त्यांना आम्ही सुद्धा रिस्पेक्ट करतो आणि दादा आम्हाला ओळखते. दादासारखी एक सेकंड ना, दादासारखी व्यक्तीनी असं भाष्य करणं, मला वाटते आमच्यासारखे लोकांना डिमॉरलाइज करण्याचं काम करत आहे. पण मी दादांना एक रिक्वेस्ट करेन, दादांनी पोलीस स्टेशनची गोष्ट केली, ठीक आहे, ते व्हिडिओ व्हायरल केला, पण दादा एक महिला सोबत तुम्ही असताना या महाराष्ट्रामध्ये मुख्यमंत्री काही कामाचं नाही आहे ते आपल्यालाही माहिती आहे आणि तुम्हीच मुख्यमंत्रीचे पदापेक्षा जास्त काम करतात. तर आपण सुद्धा याची माहिती घ्यावं की लॉकअप पासून आणि जेलापर्यंत कोणत्या पद्धतीने आमच्यासोबत व्यवहार झाला त्याची चौकशी जर आपण केली तर आपल्याला माहित पडेल, कारण आपण ठोक रोख बोलणारे व्यक्ती आहे, तर त्याची माहिती घेऊन त्याच्यावर सुद्धा आपण बोललो पाहिजे, एवढी विनंती करते. आज मैं दिल्ली जाने वाली हूं और दिल्ली जाके पहले तो मैं बार बार यही कह रही हूँ कि हमने कोर्ट का हमेशा सम्मान किया है और मैं करती आ रही हूँ, और ये भारतीय नागरिक होने के नाते हमारे इस देश में रहने वाला हर एक व्यक्ति कोर्ट का सम्मान करता है, उसी तरीके से हम भी करते हैं. कोर्ट हैज़ गिवन स्पेशल 9 ऑर्डर्स कि वो सब्जेक्ट पर हम कोई भी बात नहीं करेंगे. हमने ऑफेंस के बारे में बात नहीं की, हमने किस तरीके से ऑफेंस लगाया उसके बारे में बात नहीं की. वो सब बातें बाजू में रख के जो मेरे साथ लॉकअप से लेके जेल में हुआ, मेरी हेल्थ इशू को लेके जिस तरीके से उन्होंने अवॉइड किया, वो सब चीज़ों पे मेरा बात करना, लोगों को सामने ला के बताना. अगर एक लोक प्रतिनिधि के साथ में ऐसा हो सकता है तो एक आम पब्लिक के साथ में किस तरीके से व्यवहार होता है, ये मेरा बोलना बहुत ज़रूरी है. और एज ए लोक प्रतिनिधि ये संविधान ने मुझे अधिकार दिया है, मेरा अधिकार मुझसे किसी ने नहीं छीनना चाहिए. मैं आपको ये बताती हूँ कि दिल्ली जाकर मेरे देश के, हमारे देश के जो महिलाओं को रिस्पेक्ट करने वाले, जो महिलाओं के प्रति भावना रखने वाले, ऐसे हमारे देश के गृह मंत्री, हमारे देश के प्रधानमंत्री और हम जिस सभागृह के मेंबर हैं, ऐसे लोकसभा अध्यक्ष हमारे ओम बिरला साहब, इनको जाके जो चीज़ें मेरे साथ हुई हैं उनके अगेंस्ट कंप्लेंट देने वाली, क्योंकि महाराष्ट्र में मैंने कंप्लेंट दे के भी जिन्होंने खुलेआम गुंडे शाही के शब्दों में मुझे कहा कि इनको 20 फुट गाड़ देंगे और शमशान में इनके जलाने के लिए सामग्री भी पहुंचा दी गई है। तो मुझे लगता है इसके अगेंस्ट में दिल्ली जाके, जहां मेरा घर है, वो पुलिस स्टेशन जाके हम कंप्लेन करेंगे और जितनी भी चीज़ें लॉकअप से जेल तक हुई हैं उसके अगेंस्ट में कार्रवाई की मांग करूंगी मैं। और ऐसे कोई भी लोक प्रतिनिधि हो या आम व्यक्ति, नागरिक हो या महाराष्ट्र के या देश का, उसके साथ ऐसी दुर्घटना नहीं होगी।
इसीलिए जमानत रद्द कराने जा रही है।
मुझे लगता है कि जो मैंने उनको चेतावनी दी है, किसी के नाम पे बैठकर खाना बहुत अच्छा है, पर खुद के हिम्मत पर खुद की पसीना निकाल के काम करने में बहुत अंतर है।
महापौर लीलावती हॉस्पिटलला भेटला
और जिस तरीके से उद्धव ठाकरे बहुत ज्ञान की बातें करते हैं, मुझे उनको एक प्रश्न है, बीजेपी के पीठ पे खंजर घोंपने वाले ने सिद्धांतों की बात नहीं करनी चाहिए। सिद्धांत उद्धव ठाकरे के साथ में नहीं, बाड़ा साहब के साथ थे। सिद्धांत बाड़ा साहब के साथ चले गए और उद्धव ठाकरे ने जिस तरीके से धोखा देके बीजेपी के पीठ में खंजर खोपाए, उन्होंने हमको सिद्धांतों का ज्ञान नहीं देना चाहिए। सिद्धांतों का ज्ञान हम लेके चलते हैं, तो उन्होंने नहीं सिखाना चाहिए। मला असं वाटते ज्या लोकांनी मला असं वाटते की आम्ही लढणारे लोक आहे, घाबरणारे लोक नाही। और जो भी लीलावती का जो भी चीज़ें ये बात कर रहे हैं, इनको कोई काम नहीं है। अगर काम होता तो हमारे एक एक व्यक्ति, नारायण राणे साहब का हो गए, बाकी जितने भी जन हैं जो इनके विरोध में बोलते हैं, घरों पे कार्रवाई करते हैं, घर तोड़ते हैं या उनको अंदर डालते हैं, यही काम उद्धव ठाकरे के और उनके आजू बाजू जो पिलांटू हैं, जो उनके सलाहकार हैं, जिन्होंने बीजेपी के पीठ में खंजर कैसे ठोकना सिखाया, तो मुझे लगता है कि उन पे बात करना और
पोलीस ठाण्यामध्ये तक्रार करणार आहात, तर पोलीस ठाण्यामध्ये कोणाच्या विरुद्ध तक्रार दाखल करणार आहात दिल्लीला?
पोलीस स्टेशनमध्ये
मैं एक चीज़ बता सकती हूँ कि 5 साल देवेंद्र साहब ने भी राज्य चलाया है। ऐसी श्रूड की राजनीति कहीं पर भी महाराष्ट्र में कभी नहीं हुई। अगर सीखना है उद्धव ठाकरे जी को, तो उन्होंने देवेंद्र साहब से सीखना चाहिए कि महाराष्ट्र किस तरीके से चलाना चाहिए और किस भावना से चलाना चाहिए। श्रूड बुद्धि I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to go Delhi and meet all the leaders who respect women. I'm going to meet them. The respected HM, the respected Prime Minister of this India, the respected the Lok Sabha Speaker. I'm going to meet him and I'm going to tell him what happened from jail to the lockup. From lockup to
You're going to meet the PM as well. You're going to meet the PM as well.
Yes, I'm going to request him.
All right.
And if he gives me time, I'm going to meet and give him all the details. Thank you, madam. Who's gone to jail as a representative, and that too which subject I have gone to jail. That is my question. I'm going to go and ask him to inquire about this. Whatever happened with me, it is not justice. It is happening. This kind of action is not against this kind of people. I think this is not the way the Maharashtra has.
Have you had a word with Madam, today morning, ma'am. Today morning, ma'am.
अरे कोण तरी पडलं.
I have spoken.
अरे पडले
And we'll see you in Delhi.
So, breaking news coming in there, the Rana couple who are all set to meet the Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla as well as Amit Shah in the national capital today will also be filing a police complaint with the Delhi police over the treatment that was meted out to them while they were in custody. So, So Navneet Rana and Ravi Rana sharpening their attack on the Mahavikas Aghadi government, saying that they will be meeting the Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla as well as Amit Shah, and this meet comes in the backdrop of the Hanuman Chalisa face-off that has only been escalating all these days. The latest what we are told is that MP Navneet Rana and Ravi Rana will be filing a police complaint with the Delhi police.
विरोधात त्या ठिकाणी सगळ्या एजन्सीला भेटणार. देशाचे पंतप्रधान, देशाचे गृहमंत्री अमित शहाजी आणि ओम बिर्लाजी यांना सुद्धा भेटणार आणि जे आमच्यासोबत घडलं सगळी माहिती सांगून त्या ठिकाणी कारवाई झाली पाहिजे. जे महाराष्ट्रामध्ये होत नाहीये ते त्या ठिकाणी दिल्लीच्या माध्यमातून कारवाई करणार. आणि गेल्याबरोबर दिल्लीला जाऊन पोलीस स्टेशनमध्ये तक्रार सुद्धा करणार.
राजकारण आणि देवेंद्रांची सत्ता याची तुलना कुठेतरी वेगळ्या पद्धतीने करताय. मुख्यमंत्री हे वेगळ्या पद्धतीने शूट राजकारण करताय असं थेट
सगळ्या महाराष्ट्राने पाहिलेलं आहे. देवेंद्र फडणवीसजी ज्याप्रमाणे महाराष्ट्राला पुढे नेलं आणि पॉझिटिव्ह राजकारण केलं, सगळ्यांना घेऊन महाराष्ट्राच्या उन्नतीसाठी देवेंद्र फडणवीसजींनी काम केलं. त्यांची ट्युशन उद्धव ठाकरेंनी लावली पाहिजे. कारण की द्वेषाचं राजकारण करून महाराष्ट्र चालणार नाही, खुन्सीचं राजकारण करून महाराष्ट्र चालणार नाही. महिलांचा अपमान गेल्या अनेक वर्ष अनेक मुख्यमंत्री होते, कधी एवढा महिला खासदाराचा अपमान केला नाही. तो खासदार उद्धव ठाकरेंनी केलेला आहे. आणि महाराष्ट्रामध्ये शेतकरी परेशान आहे, शेतमजूर परेशान आहे, बेरोजगारी वाढलेली आहे, त्या ठिकाणी मोठ्या प्रमाणात लोड शेडिंग वाढलेलं आहे, अस्तव्यस्त महाराष्ट्र झालेला आहे. या व्यस्त महाराष्ट्राला थांबवण्यासाठी उद्धव ठाकरेंनी खऱ्या अर्थानं देवेंद्र फडणवीसची ट्युशन लावावी, तरच महाराष्ट्र हा जागा होऊ शकतो. महाराष्ट्र के ऊपर डिस्कशन करेंगे. महाराष्ट्र में चल रहा है उसकी
These are the live shots that we are getting from Delhi Shaheen Bagh, the bulldozers there at Delhi Shaheen Bagh. We will be going across to our reporter shortly who will be joining us from Shaheen Bagh. The first visuals that we've accessed of the demolition drive, which is set to take place, is being said to take place in Delhi. We have I'm told we have Piyush joining us from Shaheen Bagh. Piyush will be joining us very, very shortly, but those are the exclusive visuals we're getting to you from Delhi Shaheen Bagh, where the demolition drive is set to be taking place in a short while. We have Piyush back with us. Piyush, over to you. Tell us what is happening in Shaheen Bagh today. Piyush, if you can hear us, if you could tell us about the demolition drive which is set to take place in Shaheen Bagh today. Well, we will connect with Piyush again. There seems to be a network problem, but the visuals on your screens that we are getting to you of the demolition drive which is set to take place in Delhi's Shaheen Bagh. And these are the live visuals we are getting to you from the national capital. The visuals coming in from Delhi's Shaheen Bagh, where the demolition drive is set to take place. We have Piyush back with us. Piyush, over to you. Tell us about the situation unfolding in Delhi's Shaheen Bagh right now.
Well, right now we are here at the police station of Shaheen Bagh, where MCD officers have also come in. What we are now given to understand is that Delhi police is going to provide adequate force today, and demolition drive will take place today. That is the confirmation which we are right now getting from the people here. We are showing you visuals from right outside the Shaheen Bagh police station. Also, any minute from now, we can also see more JCBs to be called in. A few minutes back, we also showed to our viewers the visuals of JCB which was brought in here, and now after this more JCBs are to be called in, and then the demolition drive will be carried out. What we are now learning is that today is the day when SDMC is also to officially carry out a demolition drive, and we are showing you pictures from outside Shaheen Bagh police station also, where police forces are being called in a large number. If Anil can show you more pictures of the police forces, those are now entering here. So what we are now learning is that today the demolition drive is all set to carry out, and today we are reporting from right now outside the police station here in Shaheen Bagh. Any minute from now we'll see more JCBs to be called in. What we are now learning is that one bulldozer was called in, which has now been sent to the spot there at G Block in Shaheen Bagh, where the demolition drive will be carried out. Delhi Police has also told to SDMC, South Delhi Municipal Corporation, that they will be providing enough security. Remember that last time the drive was got cancelled because there was not enough security. Police personnel were not in large numbers, and that is why it had to be cancelled. But today, what we are now learning from the police sources is that they are going to provide the adequate security, and that is why the police personnel are also being called in here at the Shaheen Bagh police station. Couple of minutes back, JCB was also called in, and now it has been sent to a location where the demolition drive will be carried out. We'll have to wait and watch how this drive will be carried out. But the people there in Shaheen Bagh, who had encroached the areas, who had illegally encroached the areas, last time we saw they started removing their belongings from those areas. But today, what we can tell to our viewers is that even as people continue to encroach the land here in Shaheen Bagh illegally, the SDMC is making it very clear that it will take out demolition drive, and that is why police forces are also been called in here at Shaheen Bagh police station in large numbers.
Just stay with us. We'll just take a very short break and come back to you for all the latest. And it's a big crackdown on the Dawood network. Raids currently underway in across 20 locations in Mumbai. And the live visuals on your screens right now of the NIA crackdown on Dawood gang. Also, Pakistan drone shot down by BSF in Amritsar. 10 kilograms of heroin worth 50 crore rupees seized.
It was a dark night with a bright idea.
Guys, we need something big.
Let's do what we always do. Something really bold. Let's take on the D segment.
Let's create the big daddy of all SUVs, because nothing else will do.
The big daddy of SUVs from Mahindra, coming soon.
What is being claimed by the Hindu petitioners is that this particular structure of the mosque is entirely a temple. However, the Muslim petitioners have made it very clear that it's a 17th century building, which is why a recent videographic survey hurt their sentiment.
जो लोग वहां के सर्वे को रोक रहे हैं, तो प्रश्न उठेगा क्या छुपाना चाहते हैं, किस चीज के से घबरा रहे हैं कि ये बाहर आ जाए।
भारत में कानून का राज है। अगर आप गलत तरीका अपनाते हैं तो उसकी काट भी है। जिस हिसाब से उन्होंने एक पहले 6 बजे के आसपास उन्होंने ये वारंट निकाला और दूसरा वारंट रात को करीब 10 बजे के करीब निकाला, तो इतना तो था ही। हम लोग इंतजार कर रहे थे, हमारे साथ हमारे ये बच्चे भी साथ में थे, कुछ मीडिया कर्मी भी साथ में थे, और वो भी इस इंतजार में थे कि पुलिस कब आती है। लगभग 11 साढ़े 11 बजे न्यूज आई कि बग्गा ने उनके खिलाफ याचिका दायर की है। तब हम लोग निश्चिंत हो गए कि अब पुलिस कम से कम जब तक फैसला नहीं हो जाता तब तक नहीं आएगी। हम लोग रिलैक्स हो गए। 12 बजे के आसपास फैसला आ गया कि बग्गा को 2 दिन की राहत मिली है। अब उस राहत का फायदा किस हिसाब से उठाना है, क्या क्या करना है, ये बग्गा जाने, पार्टी जाने और उनके वकील जाने।
जिन्होंने कल फिर ये दर्शा दिया कि इस देश के अंदर कानून का राज चलता है। अगर अरविंद केजरीवाल सोचते हैं कि सत्ता के बल पे, पुलिस के बल पे भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं को डरा सकते हैं, झुका सकते हैं, तो फिर से मैं उनको कहता हूं, एक नहीं 100 FIR कीजिए। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी, मैं ये सवाल पूछूंगा कि आपने गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी की बेदबी करने वालों को 24 घंटे के अंदर जेल की सलाखों में डालना था। आपने चुनाव के अंदर वादा किया था, लेकिन आप ही के विधायक ने, जो उस समय SIT कमेटी के सदस्य थे और जिन्होंने इस्तीफा दिया था, और आप उनका नाम बार बार लेते थे। जो आपके अमृतसर के विधायक हैं ने ये कहा कि जिन लोगों ने गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी की बेदबी करने वालों को बचाया, आपने उनको प्रमोशन दे दी।
In a shocking incident, 2 persons were injured after 15 to 20 rounds of firing took place in West Delhi, Subhash Nagar, late at night on Saturday. In fact, these firing took place yesterday in the middle of the night, after which 2 people have been injured. They have been rushed to the spot, and after the incident took place, several police officials were deployed in the area, and there is a heavy deployment in the shooting site, and several barricades have also been placed, and the inquiry has also been placed by the officials. According to the preliminary information that we are getting from the officials, the investigation has been put in place as to who was behind the firing. CCTV cameras are being constantly checked of the entire location, and the injured people are undergoing treatment in the nearby hospital. The entire incident took place on Saturday night. This is Sumi Rajapun for Republic Media Network with video journalist Ranveer, New Delhi.
Refugees have gathered here in Jammu as a part of Smaran Divas to remember those who have attained martyrdom in the Pakistan's brutality.
Getting in breaking news right now, Dawood and Chota Shakil relative Salim Fruit have been detained after the massive NI raids in Mumbai, which are being carried out in 20 locations, we are told as of now. We have Ankit who's joining us live from this spot where the NI is carrying out raid in Mumbai. Ankit, over to you. What is the latest you can tell us?
The latest, Samiksha, is that Salim Fruit, an aide of Chota Shakil, who is also a member or was a member of the Dawood Ibrahim gang, his current status is unknown, has been picked up by the NIA. We were right outside the Mir Housing Society, where earlier in the day we had got visuals of the raids in progress. Remember, the NIA raids are going on at over 20 locations. This is at Grant Road at the Mir Housing Society, and what we saw there was that there were at least 3 agencies present at the spot. One was the Mumbai Police, which was providing peripheral security. Then there were CRPF Jawans armed with assault rifles, and then there were at least two NIA officials. So we were waiting outside for some time, and then there was a little bit of activity. The police tried to clear the area, and then the 2 officials of the NIA came out. At first they had these big files with them. They went to their own vehicle and they moved things around. They put some of their things there. Then they went inside the building again, and the police cleared the entire area, and they came out with a person, and that person was Salim Fruit. So an aide of Chota Shakil, a member of the D gang, allegedly has been taken into custody right now in front of our eyes by the National Investigative Agency, and that is the big breaking update from Grant Road. Now remember, Samiksha, there are raids going on also in different parts of Mumbai, India's financial capital. Early in the morning we were reporting from Nagpada. Grant Road is not far from here. Way in the north of Mumbai, in Borivali and Goregaon also there are raids going on. Also in Santa Cruz in the suburbs, as well as in Mumbai in the port side area. And so right now we can tell you, just 5 minutes ago, the NIA picked up Salim Fruit, Salim Qureshi, who is an aide of Chota Shakil, whose current status is unknown. But of course, he used to be a big member of the D gang. And so that is the latest right now that we can tell you. We are currently unaware whether there have also been people who have been picked up from other locations. Remember, there are about 200 personnel apparently involved in this operation, and then there are also, of course, the facilitator agencies like we saw, and we've sent the visuals across. There were 3 men of the CRPF with assault rifles also there, and a number of personnel of the Mumbai police, and finally 2 investigators of the NIA, and those are the 2 investigators that took away Salim Fruit. We asked them also whether they'll be carrying out more investigations, whether they'll be raiding other areas as well, whether other people will be taken into custody, but they were totally tight-lipped. They did not say a word. In fact, they only came to check whether the coast was clear, and then they moved their files into their vehicle, and then they took Salim Fruit and they went away with him. So that is the breaking update right now, Samiksha.
Well, absolutely, Ankit. Thanks so much. We'll keep coming back to you. In fact, Ankit, stay with us. We have those visuals as well. Dawood's aide, Salim Fruit, who has now been detained by the NIA as raids are currently being carried out in over 20 locations across Mumbai. And those are the very shots of the NIA raids that are being carried out. In the latest, what we are told is that Dawood aide, Salim Fruit, has been detained by the NIA. And it's loudspeaker versus loudspeaker in Karnataka now. Sri Ram Sena launches protests over loudspeakers for Azan. And survey findings to be presented before the court today as the political fight over the Gyanvapi mosque continues.
It was a dark night with a bright idea.
Guys, we need something big.
Let's do what we always do. Something really bold. Let's take on the D segment.
Let's create the big daddy of all SUVs because nothing else will do.
The big daddy of SUVs from Mahindra, coming soon.
In a shocking incident, 2 persons were injured after 15 to 20 rounds of firing took place in West Delhi, Subhash Nagar, late at night on Saturday. In fact, these firing took place yesterday in the middle of the night, after which 2 people have been injured. They have been rushed to the spot, and after the incident took place, several police officials were deployed in the area, and there is a heavy deployment in the shooting site, and several barricades have also been placed, and the inquiry has also been placed by the officials. According to the preliminary information that we are getting from the officials, the investigation has been put in place as to who was behind the firing. CCTV cameras are being constantly checked of the entire location, and the injured people are undergoing treatment in the nearby hospital. The entire incident took place on Saturday night. This is Sumi Rajapun for Republic Media Network with video journalist Ranveer, New Delhi.
Refugees have gathered here in Jammu as a part of Smaran Divas to remember those who have attained martyrdom in the Pakistan's brutality when the part of Jammu and Kashmir was illegally occupied by Pakistan, and now these people have come from various parts of the country to remember those who have given the supreme sacrifice. Sir, मैं आपसे जानना चाहूँगा,
जो हमारे वहाँ पर छूट गए विस्थापित लोग, हमारे जो वहाँ पर पूर्वज छूट गए हैं, उन लोगों को हम अपने साथ मिलाना चाहते हैं और हम उनके साथ मिलेंगे। पीओजेके का जो हिस्सा उसको लेने के लिए आज संकल्प लेंगे और अपने जो पूर्वज थे उनको हम आज श्रद्धांजलि देंगे।
श्रद्धांजलि दे रहे सर, आपसे जानना चाहूँगा, लगातार मांग उठ रही है पीओजेके वापसी को लेकर, क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
ये बहुत अच्छा कदम है, ये ऐसा होना चाहिए, हम उधर जाएं वो इधर आएँ, एक दूसरे का मिलाप होना चाहिए।
वापस आना चाहिए पाकिस्तान अधिकृत जम्मू कश्मीर।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल वापस आना चाहिए पूरे का।
We're reporting outside the Kashi Vishwanath temple over here and the mosque that is all mired into controversy. We'll take you straight to the visuals over here in Varanasi. In the visuals, we are bringing you the live pictures of this particular newly built Kashi Vishwanath corridor, and right next to it is the mosque, which is under the scanner of all the controversies. This is the particular mosque where against which you can see there's a brown wall over there. My video journalist is zooming in and showing you the brown wall. The petitioner are questioning that they should be allowed to go inside and worship at the temple of Gauri Shringar. That particular brown wall that is just one of the walls of these mosques is being contended to be the Gauri Shringar temple by the devotees over here, and now in their petition they request that they should be allowed to go freely inside and should be allowed to worship and offer prayers over here. However, the mosque committee is against this entire.
And breaking news coming in, Elon Musk has hinted his life is under threat. He has said, if I die under mysterious circumstances, it's been nice knowing you. So that's a statement coming in from Elon Musk, who has claimed threat to life. And going on to say, and I quote here, if I die under mysterious circumstances, it's been nice knowing you. So a very mysterious, sinister statement of sorts coming in by Elon Musk, where he has said he is facing threat to life. Going on to add that if I die under mysterious circumstances, it's been nice knowing you. Remember, this comes days after Elon Musk's takeover of Twitter for over $44 billion. And now we have Elon Musk hinting at threat to life. We have Bhakti joining us from the Mumbai newsroom. Bhakti, Elon Musk claiming threat to life. What more can you tell us?
news that Elon Musk is now hinting like he has a threat to his life. Now, if his quote, if you watch his tweet, he has written, "If I die under mysterious circumstances, it's been nice knowing you." Now, there are a lot of reactions, and he's tweeted this out just 4 hours back in the morning, and he's tweeted this to his 91 million followers. He's tweeted this out to his 91 million followers, and he's just recently overtaken Twitter, and now this tweet comes. It's a very cryptic tweet here actually, and if I read this tweet,
Bhakti, we'll have to leave it at that as you keep tracking more on that story. So we have Elon Musk there hinting at threat to life. On the other side, Navneet and Ravi Rana to head to the national capital, set to have high-level meetings in the national capital.
It was a dark night with a bright idea.
Guys, we need something big.
Let's do what we always do. Something really bold. Let's take on the D segment.
Let's create the big daddy of all SUVs, because nothing else will do.
The big daddy of SUVs from Mahindra, coming soon.
We're reporting outside the Kashi Vishwanath temple over here and the mosque that is all mired into controversy. We'll take you straight to the visuals over here in Varanasi. In the visuals, we are bringing you the live pictures of this particular newly built Kashi Vishwanath corridor, and right next to it is the mosque which is under the scanner of all the controversies. This is the particular mosque where against which you can see there's a brown wall over there. My video journalist is zooming in and showing you the brown wall. The petitioner are questioning that they should be allowed to go inside and worship at the temple of Gauri Shringar. That particular brown wall that is just one of the walls of these mosques is being contended to be the Gauri Shringar temple by the devotees over here. And now in their petition they request that they should be allowed to go freely inside and should be allowed to worship and offer prayers over here. However, the mosque committee is against this entire drill, following which, hearing the petitions, the court had asked for a videographic survey, but the entire endeavor fell flat, as when the court monitored committee of all the officials came here for the videographic survey, they were not allowed to go inside. There was a massive protest here at gate number 4 of Kashi Vishwanath temple over here. Hundreds of people from the Muslim community came forward and they expressed their displeasure, moving the Varanasi district court as well over here. They questioned that a videographic survey is a brazen endeavor and should not be done.
उन्होंने खुली चेतावनी दी है खासदार नवनीत राणा ने कि उद्धव ठाकरे ने जनता के बीच आगे खड़ा रहना चाहिए, उनको उनके सामने खड़े रहेंगे और उनको जवाब देंगे.
News and brief from across the globe. Filipinos have begun voting for the new president, with the son of an ousted dictator and a champion of reforms and human rights as top contenders. While Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is leading in pre-election surveys, his closest challenger, Vice President Leni Robredo, has stabbed into shock and outrage over the prospect of another Marcos recapturing the top office. Slipping into a very short break. On the other side, big story coming from Rajasthan, as Rajasthan Congress Minister Mahesh Joshi's son booked for rape.
It was a dark night with a bright idea.
Guys, we need something big.
Let's do what we always do. something really bold. Let's take on the D segment.
Let's create the big daddy of all SUVs because nothing else will do.
The big daddy of SUVs from Mahindra, coming soon.
उन्होंने खुली चेतावनी दी है खासदार नवनीत राणा ने कि उद्धव ठाकरे जनता के बीच आगे खड़ा रहना चाहिए, उनको उनके सामने खड़ी रहेंगे और उनको जवाब देंगे।
मेरे पे अन्याय हुआ, लॉकअप से लेकर जेल के प्रशासन से लेकर सभी जगहों पे, उसका मैं आप लोगों को डिटेल में बात करूंगी। श्री राम का नाम लेने में और हनुमान भगवान का नाम लेने में अगर कोई 14 दिन डालते हैं तो मेरी 14 दिन में कोई आवाज नहीं दबा सकता। अगर उन्होंने 14 साल भी डाला तो भी मैं भगवान का नाम लेना बंद नहीं करूंगा।
What is being claimed by the Hindu petitioners is that this particular structure of the mosque is entirely a temple. However, the Muslim petitioners have made it very clear that it's a 17th century building, which is why a recent videographic survey hurt their sentiments.
जो लोग वहाँ के सर्वे को रोक रहे हैं तो प्रश्न उठेगा क्या छुपाना चाहते हैं, किस चीज के से घबरा रहे हैं कि ये बाहर आ जाए।
भारत में कानून का राज है, अगर आप गलत तरीका अपनाते हैं तो उसकी काट भी है। जिस हिसाब से उन्होंने एक पहले 6 बजे के आसपास उन्होंने ये वारंट निकाला और दूसरा वारंट रात को करीब 10 बजे के करीब निकाला, तो इतना तो था ही। हम लोग इंतजार कर रहे थे, हमारे साथ हमारे ये बच्चे भी साथ में थे, कुछ मीडिया कर्मी भी साथ में थे और वो भी इस इंतजार में थे कि पुलिस कब आती है। लगभग 11 साढ़े 11 बजे न्यूज आई कि बग्गा ने उनके खिलाफ याचिका दायर की है। तब हम लोग निश्चिंत हो गए कि अब पुलिस कम से कम जब तक फैसला नहीं हो जाता तब तक नहीं आएगी। हम लोग रिलैक्स हो गए। 12 बजे के आसपास फैसला आ गया कि बग्गा को 2 दिन की राहत मिली है। अब उस राहत का फायदा किस हिसाब से उठाना है, क्या क्या करना है, ये बग्गा जाने, पार्टी जाने और उनके वकील जाने।
Ranas take the fight to the Maharashtra government. Navneet says they will not back down, will continue the struggle. Navneet and Ravi Rana to meet Home Minister Amit Shah and Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla in Delhi. It's a mega crackdown on the Dawood network. Top Dawood aide Salim Fruit detained in Mumbai. It's loudspeaker versus loudspeaker in Karnataka now. Sri Ram Sena launches protests over loudspeakers for Azan. Rajasthan Congress Minister Mahesh Joshi's son booked for rape by the Delhi police. Elon Musk hints at threat to life, says if I die under mysterious circumstances, it was nice knowing you. Hello and welcome to this edition of the news on Live and Breaking here on Republic TV. We get you at the very beginning all the updates on the Gyanvapi Mosque controversy. The survey findings will be presented before the court today at around 2 p.m. as the political fight over the Gyanvapi Mosque continues. Joining us now live is Madhurima, who's covering this story. Madhurima is in Varanasi. Madhurima, a very important and crucial day as far as the Gyanvapi Mosque controversy is concerned. Court hearing likely on the survey. Give us some more details. What information do you have as far as the latest news is concerned?
crucial day today as far as the entire case is concerned, because the endeavor that fell flat at the Gyan Vyapi Mosque, where a court-appointed commissioner had gone for a videographic survey, was denied the permission to go inside the mosque because there was a massive protest over there, following which the Gyan Vyapi Mosque Committee had filed an application in the court asserting that Ajay Kumar Mishra, the court commissioner that was appointed by the local court, should be changed, because they alleged in their application that he seems to be a bit inclined towards the petitioners who are asking for a free way, a free pass to offer prayers at the Gauri Shankar temple. Now, Gauri Shankar temple is on the wall of one of the walls of the mosque. It's just on that. It is only separated through a very temporary barricading, and the petitioners, the four women who have filed this petition, have asked for a regular pass to go inside and offer prayers, because as of now only on Chaitra Navratri is the time when women can go, when devotees can go and offer prayers there. And after which the court had given a permission asserting that evidence is needed in this entire case, following which the court commissioner was appointed to go and collect the videographic evidence. And we all know that a massive protest erupted on day 2 when the entire core committee wanted to go inside and collect evidence after collecting evidence from the four walls of the mosque. And now today the court will be hearing the side of the petitioners. They've heard the complainants about the allegations that they have leveled. Today they will be hearing the court commissioner along with the side of petitioner as to what do they think about this application. We'll have to wait and watch. It's going to be a very crucial verdict, because if the court agrees that there would be no change whatsoever in the court commissioner's appointment, then the survey would begin again, because there's another case that seeks the report before 10. So we'll have to wait
survey
and watch
would begin again. Madhurima, a short while back you were able to speak to Mr. R.P. Singh. Let's go across and listen in to what he had to say on this entire issue in this exclusive conversation with our correspondent Madhurima. Let's cut across.
देखिए, अभी ज्ञान वापी का यह एक परिसर है। ज्ञान वापी का परिसर। अब ज्ञान वापी का अर्थ दो तरह से लगाया जाता है। ज्ञान का तो आप स्पष्ट समझ में आता है। वापी का मतलब ये होता है कि जैसे कूप, शुद्धि जल जो है वो होता है, तो उस समय पहले आज जैसा ज्ञान वापी कूप बना है वैसा पहले नहीं था। 400 साल पहले वहाँ मिट्टी के सारे स्ट्रक्चर थे और मिट्टी के बहुत बड़े गड्ढे थे। जो जल गिरता था शिवलिंग पर, वो दक्षिण दिशा से एक नाली बनी थी। ज्ञान वापी हमारा जो गर्भगृह है जहाँ शिवलिंग था, वहाँ से जो श्रद्धालु जल चढ़ाते थे वो दक्षिण दिशा में एक नाली बनी थी। नाली से जाके दक्षिण दिशा में गिरता था। वहाँ एक बहुत बड़ा गड्ढा था।